Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Talking Madness. Once again, I am your host, Nathan Lewis, and I'm joined by my fellow hosts, Lee Simmons, Aaron Davis, and Dale Richardson.
Hey,
Hello.
guys. Good evening.
How's everyone doing? Everyone good? Everyone good? Everyone surviving? Obviously, we're in lockdown.
Yes.
4, 5, 8, 9, 10. Who knows?
Lockdown 55. That's probably what it is now, mate. But
I'm
I'm
in double.
at work this time. I'm still at work, so it's not that much difference for me. I'm still. I was just happy to have a day off today.
When you said I'm still at work, I was like, "You're definitely not, mate. You're sat at home."
Yeah. I was gonna ask you what job he's doing, but you know,
quickly nips to the kitchen to make a coffee.
We'll leave that for another day.
So, ladies and gentlemen, once again, thank you for joining us here on a Sunday evening, the second show of 2021. Ladies and gentlemen, obviously, it's been an interesting week because this week we have a guest, a very special guest, and that guest is we ain't got a clue.
Yeah.
Not one of us has a clue. The CPW Labyrinth was unsuccessful, and no one was unfortunately able to complete the Labyrinth because it seems like the final question stumped everyone, and we may reveal the answer to the final question later on today, or we may not and keep it a surprise for future Labyrinths. Who knows? But guys, how excited are we to have a guest on that none of us know?
I've heard it's Hulk Hogan.
You are?
I've heard it's Hulk Hogan.
I voted for Hulk Hogan.
I mean, I'll be honest. I'll be fucking speechless if Hulk Hogan just turns up on our screens. I'll be like,
I would as well.
We'd just be screaming for 2 hours.
Yeah,
I would find funny now though if obviously it probably isn't Hulk Hogan, unfortunately, it's quite sad news. But if the person who is the special guest suddenly just dressed as Hulk Hogan just for the banner, just imagine quick costume change, put the gear on.
Yeah, that'd be great.
They come on and go, let me tell you something, brother.
I am a real American. Fight for my life. Fight for the life.
Be awesome.
I just want to say, CPW Galaxy, man, step up your game on the Labyrinth. Come on, do your research. Look back on old CPW. Come on, man, step up your game. We want one of you guys on here.
Which we're getting.
We're definitely going to have one tonight.
Well, we're going to have
we don't know. It could be anyone. It could be a member of the roster. It could be the boss himself. It could be a CPW Galaxy member.
See, I don't think it's the boss because I know he'd want to, make sure everyone knew that. You know what I mean?
Big build up to that one.
He
might do, but
one.
It could be a massive pipe bomb. No one expects it to be the boss, and then the boss comes out of nowhere and is like, "Hello." I don't know why he'd be so camp. I mean,
he wouldn't go like that, mate.
He would not do that. You couldn't even pay him to do that intro.
No, not at all. Nathan, it could be your mum.
No, she's at Chelsea game today.
And we could ask her about the caravan trip.
Yeah, but that's before we finished, Nathan. That finished ages ago.
They've still got to work security 24/7 until the camera equipment's taken away the next day.
Well, that was finished hours ago, mate.
Yeah, they don't remove all the equipment and the generators until the day after.
Man, I don't think no one's
Robert stays there all night then.
Yeah, they work all night.
He stays there all night. Yeah, lads, I'll be on. My dog.
No, I mean, Lee, I'll give him a quick ring, and say, look, you see a boulder coming through, don't worry about him, just let him have the generator. So we normally at this point of the night, we would tell the beautiful CPW Galaxy fans and the people from all around the world that are watching us here live on YouTube to get your questions in for the guests, but we don't know who it is, and nor do you. you can't get us any questions apart from the one question right now is
Who are you?
Who are you?
Who are you? Who are you? Who are you?
WWE, we're still in that. But obviously, once again, we do thank you all for joining us.
For that, so it's all right.
Well, can't sue anyone. Aaron said you can't sue anyone who's got no money.
I got nothing, mate.
Obviously, we thank you for joining. Please remember to share, like, subscribe to the CPW YouTube page. Obviously, follow us on Facebook, Instagram. Remember, we've got the on-demand service on Patreon. Sign up. Don't miss out on any of the shows that will be coming this year, 2021.
Nathan, I've just seen on the on the YouTube page that it said Hulk Hogan is the closest anyone has guessed.
Right. Does that mean the person's name begins with a H?
Might well do.
Is it Hulk Hogan's daughter?
Is it Harry Lord?
Well, we go. Ladies and gentlemen, let's do some questions. Let's do a question for you guys. Let's get some interaction on YouTube. Who do you guys think it could be? Who do you guys reckon the guest could be tonight? Come on, get your shouts out there.
Well, he's just
we've
said...
never had on. Some we've had on before.
Sure. Now he's just said Hulk Hogan is the closest it's going to be. Closest guess. Who the hell is that? That's like... I'm thinking old school CPW now. That's what I'm thinking. Like...
listen, that could be like anybody, to be fair. But if you
look, my brain's hurting.
I can try and think of people that we still speak to.
I've got an idea.
Go on then.
Which member of the roster does Hulk Hogan's moves spot?
Niall.
Does the famous button? Could be Niall. Does the body slam, the leg drop?
He
does Hulk Hogan's moves.
He does.
And he is quite Hulk Hogan-esque, you know.
Yeah,
he's a big lad.
He's a fan favourite at the moment.
Ricky Hewitt says it's Vince McMahon.
Vince? Oh, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
I don't know if I want him. I mean, I want your day stars, not them. You know what I mean? Triple H, maybe. His daughter. Him. Nah, he's an husband.
What do you mean his daughter?
What else we got, Aaron? What other guests we got on there? I've seen a few pop up.
Everyone's going for Wes Hanley, aren't they? They think Wes, Mr. CPW Fan of the Year. They're all going for Wes Hanley. Drake says Lee's so drunk he's forgotten where he is.
Not yet. Not yet. Give it time.
Cov
Pro Wrestling says the Game Master's the winner.
Yes.
Yeah, that is true. Yep.
Drake Winter says has to be Cleo. That'd be good.
Has to be Cleo.
Could be Cleo. I've got some questions for Cleo. We've all got questions for Cleo.
I've got a bunch of questions.
We've got Jenny on here, Holleroyd.
Hello.
Bushman's missus. She wants to know where she's got a question for you, Dale. She's got a question for you.
Yeah.
Where did Dale get the name Rudolph Windsor from?
Well, we might as well tell everyone that then, what that is then, because that is obviously what we're talking about earlier.
Let me do it then, Nathan, yeah? Is that all right? Is that all right with you, mate?
Let him, Nathan. Let him speak. For God's sake. It's his time. He's combed his hair and everything.
Oh, no, look. I've combed my hair. I've shaved everything, man.
Hurry up, man.
All right. Oh, thanks, Aaron, mate. No, that was because I was the brother of the original Alexander Windsor, and Rudolph Windsor was obviously a name that Phil came up with, and I was the original brother of Alexander Windsor. That's the reason why I was called why Rudolph Windsor. But
Rudolph, man, make me think of like
that's the only reason that I know.
Old school nerds, like Rudolph Hess or something like that.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
Were you a bad guy?
But they were a bit posh, weren't they? So, Alexander, Rudolph, kind of thing.
Good. Were you a bad guy? Rudolph, that sounds like a bad guy.
I wasn't. My brother was.
Oh, right.
I can't see Dale being a bad person.
Dale, why is people asking that question to you? Because you haven't actually said what I was going to say and answered the point that we were making. You just described why you were called the name.
Well, that's what why it was cool. Well, Phil just basically said you want to do something on the show because I was just obviously the doorman originally, or the guy who's
R2D2's back.
Go away.
Oh,
Is it
R2D.
Dale's having some
Dale?
issues this week.
R2D2, you there?
Jesus Christ. Go and lie down. Go on.
Let's just talk among
Seems to have
ourselves.
lost Dale this week.
I'll tell you.
Oh, he's back.
Oh, hello.
Dale.
You're back, Dale.
What's going
You there,
on?
mate?
right. Sorry, did you hear what I said at the end there? I just said it was a good opportunity at the time. That's what it was.
Okay.
Right.
Well,
We get involved.
what I was trying to get out, Dale, was the reason why we are talking about Rudolph Windsor, for those who were curious, is those who may have got to stage 5 of the labyrinth.
Yes.
Dale?
That was the question. What was my stage name?
Ah, right.
Ah, see?
And that's the reason.
That's where I messed up because I put Barbara.
That's right, Aaron. If you'd have asked me, mate, I would have told you.
Well, you look like a Barbara to me.
I disagree. I think his name should have been Gregory Palmer. Good old Gregory Palmer.
Oh, he's frozen again, bless him. Look what
He's
you've done
frozen
to him.
again. He
Frozen in
sort
time.
out his connection.
Oh, he's back. He's back. Hello,
What's
mate.
going on with your connection tonight, Dale?
I don't know, but you guys were just not talking.
We were.
See, we're all talking to each other. You keep freezing on us.
Is that what it is?
We don't know. Who knows what it is?
Come about. Like think about how the Russell Hardwood name came about.
Oh, that was a mistake, weren't it?
It was, wasn't it? It was. It was.
Yeah.
supposed
No,
to
it
be
legit was a mistake.
Nah.
It was Aaron not remembering the name that was meant to be.
Meant to be Raymond.
Yeah, that was it.
Raymond?
Yeah, meant to be
Raymond.
Raymond Hardwood. And I totally forgot to call him Russell.
And it's like with Russell Hardwood, we just had to carry on. So thus Russell Hardwood was born.
Is that what it
We
was?
got any more beautiful guests? Guesses?
So
On the YouTube?
Naomi on demand.
Oh, hello. On
Says-
demand.
It's Mr. Richards, she says.
Fact.
Fact. Drake Winter's gone for Hyle Hairchild.
Hyle
Oh.
Hairchild?
Niall Fairchild.
Yeah.
Or unless Nathan's in charge, it's Niall Farquhar.
Aqua.
What?
Richard Warwood said, Lee, stop
Right.
telling your dog to go to its bed. You know it will join you again soon. That's that on that chair.
He will. But he's like, so I'm getting a bit of peace. So
Shannon Warwood says, so
Hey.
CPW, but double H, could it beat Harley Harris?
It could, yeah.
possibly.
Harry
possibly.
Hill.
Could it
Harry-
be?
No, I hope
Harrison.
not.
Could it be Harrison?
Harrison and Wes.
Harrison?
Don't know. Is it a bit late for like Harrison to be up though on a Sunday?
Listen,
Yeah, it might be.
listen. Harrison's a gangster, mate. He's probably just been out to rob some jewelry or something. I know that lad, mate.
I don't know what are you trying to say about this young lad? Is it innocent young lad, mate?
Mate, don't let that little milk bar kid fool you, man. I know him. He's part of my family.
These views are only the views of Aaron and not the views of the other hosts. Thank you very much.
Or CPW?
All right, disclaimer form. You know what I mean?
We should probably do that for every one of these.
Nah, mate. Yeah, we'd just get sued.
It'd be too long.
We'd get sued. Yeah, mate. It'd be literally by the time we finish the disclaimer form, it'd be over. What else we got? Somebody said Danny O'Neill. Naomi on demand says Ride Dog.
Yeah, might be interesting.
Might be a
That's
Ride Dog.
At least.
Might be.
But the question is, who?
Who?
It's
Do not know.
we do not know. We are counting down the time. While we're waiting for that, can we all just take time to look at Dale's hair? He's combed it especially for this guest tonight.
You had a shave and everything.
Me? Yeah, you know.
I comb my hair too.
I see that, Lee. I can see you've combed your hair. Nathan, you just look a tramp. You're in the same top. You're in the same top you wear every Sunday.
Yeah, because I like to advertise the CPW Wrestling Academy and wear CPW merchandise to advertise CPW because this show is for CPW. Where are your CPW tops?
On my heart, mate. I wear the badge on my heart.
How big did his boobs look when you did that?
What?
How big did your boobs look then when you did that? You're like, oh,
mate,
yeah.
I've been doing some good bench presses recently, mate. I'm getting buff.
Oh.
The nearest you go to bench presses is going down the park.
Yeah, sitting on the bench while eating a puff pastry pie. Don't know about buff, more like puff pastry. Sitting there eating a ginsters.
The gyms are closed again at the moment. Got to go back to doing those home workouts, and it's really hard doing home workouts.
The Greg's are still open.
Yeah.
What are?
Hey, Lee's been doing that for years, mate.
Oh, Greg's.
What going? What?
Bicep curling beers.
Like style.
What you got tonight?
I'm on the Heineken.
I'm on this tonight.
Literally, if you don't know, I have been in
Get the hell out of here. You ain't drinking that.
I've been in prison since Thursday.
Belushi Amaretto.
Not literally prison, Lee. Don't get worried, mate. But obviously, I got track and traced and got told I have to stay in for 9 days.
Track and traced?
Yeah.
9 days. Has the 9 days finished yet?
No, not until next Friday.
We've only got 10 minutes really now until our...
Thank God.
Until our special guest arrives, who none of us have a clue is.
We are struggling here, guys. Please, somebody ask us a question on
we're not struggling.
On CPW. We're having to listen to Nathan. We're having to listen to Nathan.
I was just saying,
because somebody ask us a question.
We've got a question if you read the chat.
Yeah. Read it properly, Aaron.
What are you guys at home drinking?
That's fine. It's like what's our drinks? What's our drinks of choices? I mean, I've got a whole. If I show you my camera somehow, I've got a whole shelf of alcohol over the corner here. Got some gin, got some Kraken, Southern Comfort. My favourite though, Amaretto. Beautiful stuff.
Is that the way to Amaretto?
Every night I'll be hugging my pillow. Sweet Marie waits.
Wes Hanley's just come on and said hi. So could it not be Wes?
Well, I mean, he could still.
Could it be Wes? And he's just getting ready, seeing what we're talking about, to come into the conversation.
Double bluffing.
Maybe.
Could well be. Go on.
I've got about 4 bottles out of Amaretto in my cupboard, Nate. If you want to come out and polish some of them off.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wait.
Sometime.
We have a party around Dales and Amaretto.
After lockdown.
After lockdown, of course. After lockdown, of course.
CPW Galaxy next Sunday. Talking Madness live from Dale's front room, where we're going to be drinking Amaretto.
Yes.
And if anyone from the government is listening, we will not be doing that. We will not be breaking your rules that you've put in place, even though.
And Dale lives in Sunderland anyway, so you won't find us.
So I've just seen Emma's commented on the page about what drinks you drink. She drinks water and Coke. That's not a very good mix.
Yeah, but not mixed together though. Not mixed together.
I reckon she mixes it together. Puts the Coke in, bit of water, makes it.
Here's weird. She does.
Has she got one of them beer hats?
Water and Coke in the beer hat.
A pint of water there and a pint of Coke, just drinking them together.
I don't have a beer hat, but I do have a chugging funnel in my cupboard behind me.
Yeah, that's what everyone calls you, don't they? The chugging funnel.
Leave that alone, mate.
You see that, Nathan? That's you walking into that one, mate. Your chugging funnel.
I legit do have a funnel. I've got a funnel in my cupboard for chugging.
Yeah, we believe it, Nate, mate. Yeah.
Pour the alcohol in.
Did you not say that Jim's locked down? So is that what he calls your chugging funnel?
Oh, brilliant.
So obviously a bit of interest in, obviously we always like a bit of football talk on here sometimes. You know, we'll talk about a bit of football. Apart from, we never talk about Newcastle because Dowd doesn't like to talk about Newcastle. And we're not going to talk about Newcastle this weekend. He's already had enough abuse of the chosen one from last week, this weekend. But obviously it's this weekend's FA Cup. So obviously the weekend where giant killers can be, come to life. And if anyone on here is a Leeds United fan, unlucky. Good old Crawley Town from League Two, beating them 3-0. Beautiful.
That's the beauty of the FA Cup, though, isn't it?
That's what it is.
But I want to talk about Marine, right? Marine versus Tottenham today. Right.
Oh, is Aaron vanished?
He's probably going to get a photo up or something.
No, it's back.
Obviously, Marine,
yep.
the second team ever from the 8th division of British football to end up in the third round of the FA Cup.
Yep.
And they only lost 5-0 to Tottenham, who didn't bring a weak side at all.
No, they didn't, though. But I'll give Marine a bit of credit, though, because, to be honest, they were 4-0 down at half time. I was expecting about 10, to be honest. But
oh, yeah.
So I'll give a bit of credit.
And that strike first half from the Marine player.
Joe Hart was looking hilarious. Joe Hart thought it was going over and just left it.
Beautiful strike. It's unlucky.
I loved it to have gone in. It'd been rough. It was hilarious.
But what I liked about that is I say this every year, the FA Cup. You know, when like the big teams go down to the lower league teams and they put like a under 20s team out or the reserves out and stuff. And obviously, like, it's a bit of like, sometimes it's a bit of a kick in the teeth saying, oh, look, we know you're such a lower league team. We're just going to put our B side out to you. It's like they're all saying about Mourinho this weekend, like all due respect to Mourinho, he took a strong team. He was like, nope, I'm going to take the guys they're used to seeing every weekend. I'm going to bring some of my top players because end of the day, that's what they've worked hard to get here. They deserve the respect to go up against the guys they watch every weekend. You know, they even brought Bale off the bench. You know, they want to play against those guys. You know, if you play from these like lower league teams and you found out on the day of the game they brought that the B team, you're like, oh, that's cool. I'm still playing Tottenham. But if you find out you're playing, sorry, Lee.
Yeah, but not. I mean, if you beat them and you've only beaten their B team, have you really beat them? You know what I mean? You only want to be the champ, yeah? You only want to be FA Cup champions, yeah? If you fucking beaten the best that, has come against you. You know, you can't call yourself the best unless you've beaten the best. You know what I mean?
Well, I just think I just think I'd be way more motivated to go out there and give it a better go against their even better players. You know what I mean? You've got more to prove. Yeah. You've got more to prove. But yeah, no. Again, the FA Cup is always a great time of year for football. And who doesn't love a good underdog story? What have we got on the YouTube now, Aaron? Before we go, I guess so 5 minutes.
I'm just scooting through it. Let's have a look what we've got here. Naomi says, Aaron, did you do Dale's hair? Yes, I did. I went and done Dale's hair, bless him. Lee dressed him and Nathan put him on his sofa.
Yeah, that's right.
It was a team effort. You know what I mean?
And put the page up behind, and put the picture up behind me.
Yeah, of the Middlesbrough ground. So obviously, Wes has come on, said hi. Emma straight on it.
Hello.
Ooh, is that our special guest in comments? So she's going obviously for Wes. Who else we've got? Let's just go back. Shannon the Cannon said she said it was Wes from the start. So the money seems to be on Wes at the moment.
I voted for Hulk Hogan, to be honest.
I did. Jim's online. Good evening, Jim.
Yes,
hello.
Jim.
Hey, Jim.
He says, are you having a show on Thursday still? Nathan, I'll leave that to you.
As far as I'm aware, under the new guidance of England Health, we are still available, still able to go ahead with a show this week. So as far as I'm aware, there will still be a show for you, the CPW Galaxy, this week.
There you go.
We are still able to do filmings, because if they didn't, all the shows like all the soaps and stuff wouldn't be able to film, so they wouldn't be able to put a show out, would they? So
The
you could
Voice.
still film all the different shows. So
Well done, Rudolph.
What else we
Thomas,
got on there?
the Goff Lesnar's online. Thomas Warwood.
hooray!
He wants to know, Nathan, is that the leftover amaretto from the Hungary?
No,
from
it's
Hungary,
not.
that-
This
No,
is my
okay.
Christmas amaretto.
Ah.
If you left over anything, then you're a fucking worm. Drink it. Come on.
Jenny Holroyd. Oh, I can never get that right. I've had a few drinks.
Yeah, you're a
Will we
fuck
ever see the return of Fifi? All aboard.
But that's a question.
know.
That is a question. That is an
Never
interesting
know.
question.
I heard he has run away and living in a caravan with Rudolph.
I mean,
Well, that's possible. It's quite possible. I mean,
I'm
they'll
sorry.
quite.
sorry, Dale. Carry on, mate.
Karen Dale. I'm just gonna
No,
laugh.
sorry, Lee. I didn't want to interrupt you, mate, because everybody else seems to. So I'm gonna let you carry on, mate.
Yes, mate. No, you carry on, mate, and I'll jump in.
No, I was just gonna say, well, that would be an interesting pairing in one caravan. To be fair,
It would, wouldn't
Rudolph
it?
and Fifi.
I'm sure the CPW Galaxy probably would love to see Fifi back here, but from the sights I've seen backstage of Fifi getting changed, never again. Never again. Scarred me.
Not being
Oh.
funny, but have you actually been out with Fifi afterwards to a kebab shop? I have.
Full makeup on still.
Oh,
Let's
I
just
bet.
say I got some funny looks that night.
Oh,
Oh,
no one. I don't know. No one knows where Fifi's gone or what's happened to Fifi. So
Emma
none of us can
Newman
comment.
says, "Is Fifi our special?"
well,
Say again.
I could be
That would be a
in
hell of a guest.
like Bronson.
That'd
wouldn't
be,
it?
Hell of
that'd
a
be
guest.
momentum. That would be
So,
That would be
one
an
hell of a
enjoyable
surprise.
guest.
Wes says
It'll be
Harrison says
enjoyable.
hi. Wes says Harrison says hi. I think
Hi,
they're
Harrison.
they're trying to.
Harrison.
I
Harrison.
reckon now my money's on Wes and Harrison.
Like, imagine
My
the
money's
shock
just on-
factor. Imagine the shock factor if all four of us sat here, and next thing it's like, ladies and gentlemen, here's our special guest. Boom, fifth screen pops up. Fifi.
Yeah.
Right? Was that it? I was waiting. I thought you were.
I thought you were going a bit further with that, you know what I mean? It sounded like you were like big screen, Fifi, fucking dogs, smoke, elephants, dancing girls. Yes! But no,
That reaction there was like a Phoenix wrestling match where they think they're doing really, really well. They're about to get the pop. They're about to get the pop at the end of their match, and then it just falls flat because it was awful.
I've had more pops from zits on my backside than they get at a match.
I don't know what that is, bro.
So
Wow.
mean,
we've
you
got a
really
new
should
person
watch
here.
You really should wash your mouth out with soap, Nathan, saying that name on this podcast. To be fair.
So alcohol kills germs.
We've got a new person on tonight, and I want to say welcome. James is the Thunder to our
Right.
our show,
Hello, James.
and he says it all. If Aaron went out with Fifi and he got the funny looks,
Wow. You're both here fucking losers.
Martin has
what are
joined
you trying to
us.
say? What are you trying to say, James?
Both
Yeah, Martin.
really fucking dudes.
Martin's online. Martin, we love you, even though you're a Leicester fan.
Love you,
Yes,
brother.
Martin.
He says Phoenix has fans.
Oh,
Wow.
Oh, there you go.
Yes, they do. They do. And the fans that they have is also the people that run the show as well. So there you go.
Right.
I thought it was just the other wrestlers sat in the crowd.
One thing I never did, I never got to get over there.
You never missed anything.
I know, I just wanted. I think me and Dale was going to go one night on a date.
I did go once. I believe I did go once. It wasn't the nicest experience, but I did go once, many moons ago.
Me and Dale were going to go on a date night to Phoenix.
the only reason I had a good time was because I was pissed. So, you know,
What a surprise that is.
Well, it's 9 o'clock, so I'm guessing that any minute now, our
guest.
special guest should be joining us.
I hope so.
Unless they've
I'm
got
looking forward
stuck
to
on the
this.
A4, unless they've got stuck on the A47 or something.
Hold on, I need to get another beer ready then.
What was that?
Just in case it's an X.
So, ladies and gentlemen, anytime soon, we should be joined by a very special guest who, again, we have no clue who it is.
No,
Not
we do
one
not.
dot.
We are not prepared. We're not prepared because we don't know who it is.
We're never usually that prepared anyway, are we? Let's be fair, lads. You know
Oh, what? I know who James his Thunder is now.
Who?
Yeah.
Who?
It's Drake Winter.
What?
Oh,
I thought you were Drake when it was already on.
he's
No,
on here twice. That's not allowed.
Has he got two profiles on there?
Oh my, guys! Obviously, you know I get a notification on when the guest.
You know it is, don't you?
No, it just says mystery guest. I still don't know who it is. I still don't know. I thought I was going to get like a little sneak peek before I let you guys see, but I don't even know now. Oh. Right, composure, guys. Everyone, deep breath.
Let him in, then. Let him in.
Let him in, Nathan. Let him into the room.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is our mystery guest.
Move your hand away from that screen.
It's a red screen. Ladies and gentlemen, we've been joined by the red screen.
Wow.
Who are you? Who are you? Come on.
Come on. Tell us now. Come on. Let's go. Let's have this out.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Niall Fairchild.
Yes.
Oh, what a beautiful face.
I'm gonna cry, guys. I'm gonna cry. I'm getting emotional right now.
That is absolutely beautiful. Fantastic.
I called it. I said Niall when he said Hulk Hogan.
Yes.
Yes.
He did.
Yes. Niall, how you doing?
Yeah. Well, I've listened to you for half an hour, so I'm getting a bit tired. But yeah, I'm good. How about you?
How do you think we feel, Niall?
Oh yeah.
Every week, mate.
Well, let's change your name from mystery guest to Niall Fairchild. I think I spelt it wrong. One L.
Oh no. No, fuck off.
Mystery guest.
No, I went through a lot of trouble to do that to make sure that I got it right.
Well, I will say one thing. I guarantee so many of the ladies in the CPW galaxy are happy as fuck right now, Niall. Definitely.
They must be. They must be.
What? Just the
what's the
ladies?
reaction like, Aaron, on YouTube?
So we've got, everyone's Shannon, Niall, yes. Emma says I was very far off because obviously she said it was Wes. Richard Fallen Angel Furnace says yes, CPW fam. That's my wife happy, says Richard Warwood. Well, there we go.
Yeah, that's we aim to please.
Yeah. Wes says happy because it's not me. How rude. Yes, here we are, Wes.
Unlucky, Wes. Never mind, mate.
You'll get there one
Better
day.
next time.
Well, Wes, let's be fair, mate. I mean, I love you, but you do look a bit. You know what I mean? And then, there's Niall, who is a gorgeous man.
Oh.
True. He has a point there.
I'll agree with that.
Get compliments like this all night.
Yeah. Right.
So
right.
Niall, how you coping? Obviously, in this lockdown at the moment.
Well, to be honest, nothing's really changed for me. I mean, throughout this whole last year, I've just continued to work. I'm classed as a key worker somehow. I'm not quite sure, but go on. So nothing's really changed. I've got the boy at home. The girl is still going to nursery. So it's just mainly whenever I'm at home now, the boy's there and he wants me to do something with him all the time. But fine.
So I did see you post a video up the other day of you keeping fit and doing your squats.
Well,
Yes,
yeah,
I saw that.
yeah.
I was disappointed that your back wasn't straight though, Niall.
I won't reveal her weight, but I had a weight on my back in my wife. So,
Well, I did see that, but still, you should have been straight back, mate.
next time I'll remember that and I'll try.
Yeah, mate. I've always been told that with squats, though, you got to straighten your back.
Fitness tips from Dale. That's a new section of the new section of this. What we can do? Fitness tips from Dale. Yes.
I'm all,
Dale's the new Joe Wicks of CPW.
No, Mr. Motivator. That's
Man,
it.
I was about to say it. You took the words out of my mouth, Lee. Mr. Motivator.
He
Let's
was
get the lycra.
He was.
But Niall, you gotta. I mean, it doesn't like your missus like doesn't sit. You need to up your weight. Now, can you do the same amount of squats with Nathan on your back? That's the question.
That I'd like to see.
prove that last Wednesday, and the answer would be no.
Only one about mate. I'm light as a feather. I'm light as a feather. I've been told.
Yeah.
Hey, not too bad.
So no, amazing. This is amazing. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have been joined by the one, the only Niall Fairchild tonight on Talking Madness. So make sure you do get your questions in now because, well, we've got a guest. So the only thing to do now is to start questioning him. Otherwise, there's no point in being here.
I've got questions.
I've got no questions for him because I didn't know he was on. So
The questions are
Dale,
rolling in.
why are you not prepared? Pre-prepared, Dale.
Prepared.
The questions.
YouTube, Aaron, mate.
Yeah, on YouTube.
Like with
The questions are rolling in already, mate.
Let's get him in then.
Yeah, we get a lot on his face. We've got to question him. You know what I mean?
Do it.
Let's get
I've got,
it
mate.
going
The
then.
questions are here. The questions are here. Just when you're ready.
Do it then, Aaron. Let's go.
Okay, no problem. I might do them in a minute. Shannon Warwood, obviously, I think we just answered that question. How does Niall's missus feel when he uses her for home workouts, as I've seen on Facebook? Does she enjoy it, Niall?
Well, I've got to be mindful of the audience and who's watching.
No, you don't, mate. No, you don't. There's no rules on Talking Madness.
Believe me, mate. There ain't none, mate.
You can't sue what we ain't got.
It's
No,
after
we ain't
9
got nothing,
o'clock.
mate.
If the kids are up, that's not our fault. It's the parents' fault.
True.
There's no such thing as watershed on this show.
Oh, that's good. I'm glad. But
Yeah.
the almost PC answer is yes. She does enjoy it to an extent. I mean, that was a boy recording that. He's 5 years old, so I think eventually he might get a job in CPW. To be honest, he could get on that camera sometime soon.
Yeah.
Hey,
Wow.
Roman cam.
Yeah.
Why not? Why
There you
not?
go.
So, Cov Pro Wrestling wants to know, is it true Noel was going to have a Viking gimmick upon his CPW debut?
Yes, it was very true. Yeah. Apart from the fact that I was awful at it, if I'm being honest.
I'd love to see that.
You look like a Viking.
You do.
I don't know if anybody's been watching the new series. It's amazing. Vikings. Like you do.
No
look
spoilers.
No.
No, but you look like you just lifted straight out of that, mate. Like, but obviously buffed.
Yeah. I mean, back then when I first started in CPW, I had hair down to about here as well. So it's sort of just, Phil had his ideas, and I was all aboard for it because, as you all know, I started at CPW. I have no prior training, so I was willing to do anything to get on the shows. I just wanted to get on them. So if that's where we were going, then that's where we were going. But I think Phil basically did the right thing and realised that it wasn't the right character for me, and then an opportunity come up through an injury to face Tommy, and the rest is history. And we're sitting here now.
So that was your first match, wasn't it? CPW against Tomby.
It was, yeah.
What was your thoughts going into that? Like, obviously, Tomby being the type of wrestler he is and what he's known for. Obviously, at that time, he was not liked by anyone, and was probably more aggressive than he is now. How was that going into that first match against someone, obviously, of that that experience and caliber and of his aggression?
To be honest, this was what I was expecting. Obviously, I'd seen bits and bobs of CPW before, but to me, I've watched things like Tough Enough, you know, the original Tough Enoughs. I've seen certain documentaries, and from what I've been told, you know, when you break into wrestling, it's not easy. It's hard. It's meant to be. So, you know, that's what I was expecting. I was expecting a big physical match, and, you know, it didn't bother me really. Obviously, I was extremely nervous because it was my first match, but in terms of physical aggression, it's never really bothered me, because to me that's what wrestling is. If you're worried about getting hit and getting hurt, then don't be a wrestler, basically.
Definitely.
Good answer. I love that answer. That's a great answer. Plus, I did find it funny there when you said, you know, you're willing to do anything. Mr. Richards, the boss, is probably not the best person to say that to. That you're willing to do anything, because trust me, that man's got ideas that he would love to get away with.
Plenty of them.
It's funny. It's funny you said that, because James is the fund has asked. He said that he wants to buy Dale's workout DVD, and Commentary Pro Wrestling come back with. Will make it happen.
Hey,
I would buy. They're gonna make it happen. Dale's workout DVD.
Oh yeah.
Not only buy it, I would follow it.
Well, I'd want to see you in it, tell you the truth, Niall. In Lycra.
I would as well. I'll just stand and watch you do the exercises now. I'll just stand and watch it.
Yeah,
so
back it straight.
Well, that's what I mean. I'll be able to give you a critique, you see.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm up for that. If you are,
there we go. Me and Niall. There we go. There's DVD.
Yeah.
We've got 2 questions here for you, Noel, from 2 different people, but kind of the same question. One says from Emma, is it true that your bout's coming home with the NBK? And then Drake Winter says, I have a question. When is he going to give me my bout back?
Oh, there we go.
Where do I start?
Flap him.
Great, because that's in the past. That's history, isn't it? He had his chance. I gave him, you know, he ducked me for, a couple of months. I was on Next Gen. I was waiting. I was on New Blood. I said, come down. Let's do it. He waited. Eventually, an opportunity came to be in the prison. I went to Mr. Richards. It's well documented. I said, I want to be in that prison. I want it to be Drake Winter. We got the match, and we all know what happened.
The rest is history.
Great. If you want another match, get up them rankings, beat a few people, get number 1 contender, and we'll see.
I'll do that.
Love it.
Do it.
Good answer.
Emma, is the title coming home with MBK? The short answer is no, because it's not a dual championship. If it was going to anyone, it would be Morris. Now, talking about Morris, you know, he's very young, but we all know he's got great talent. He's been in CPW for a long time. I've really liked him. What I don't like is the attitude he's got at the moment. So, you know, everything within my being, I will stop Morris from winning that title. I know he's coming for me. He told me last time. But as you've all seen, CPW Galaxy, I'm always up for a challenge. I'll never back down. So let's see what MBK can bring. And we'll answer that question in the future, won't we?
I like your style.
Fair comment. And like you say,
Will.
you said this on the build-up to some of your recent show matches, and you said this on the build-up recently about how, you know, you're a fighting champion, you're happy to fight anyone, you know, you'll defend that belt against anyone that comes forward. So, you know, like I say, Morris calling you out is obviously another person you just, you know, if he steps in that ring and you have to fight him, you'll fight him and stuff. Why has that always been? I want to know, why has that always been your thing? You know, to be a fighting champion, to be the one that always, you know, stands up and fights and stuff. What made you have that mind frame when you got into wrestling and go, you know what, no matter what, I'm going to go out there and fight for the Galaxy, but I'm also going to be a fighting champion if I ever have a belt?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's because that's the kind of person I am. And basically, to be the best, you've got to beat anyone that's in front of you. And you know, if I was not a champion and I was looking to be a champion, I was hoping whoever I was going to face for a title would want to face me. They wouldn't try and stuck out of it. You know, like what Jimmy Vice did last year with that heavyweight title. Just ducked me for as long as he possibly could until I threw him out the elimination. So to me, yeah, it's just anyone that wants to step up, let's have it. Let's go for it. And through that, you know, I'll meet different styles, different types of wrestlers, and hopefully it'll improve me as a wrestler because, you know, I'm not the finished article in the slightest. There's still a lot for me to learn. And if I learn it by wrestling different talents, hopefully beating them, defending that, getting more prestige on that title, getting more confidence in myself, then I'm all for it.
Oh, sorry.
Right.
No, thank you.
Right,
Appreciate
okay.
those answers. Excellent answers there. Like you say, no, you can't argue more. At the end of the day, that's your responsibility when you're a champion, but also responsibility as someone who's loved so much by the Galaxy to obviously keep on improving, but also to keep on going out there and putting all of you on the line. Aaron, what other questions you got for our man Niall?
Can I just, before we carry on, AA's online, our friend from India.
Right.
Please behave this weekend, AA. We don't want to have to ban you from here. We do like listening to you, and you do have some good banters, but let's keep it at a level, yeah? So let's just put that out there first of all. Right, let's go back to the questions. I do have one from Stuart Hotshot Holden. Wants to know who inspired you to. Sorry, hello, Stuart. Who inspired you to get into wrestling?
It's a hard question. It's a very laid question, that. I first started watching wrestling around the Attitude Era when I was probably around 5, 6, 7. So it was like Austin, Rock, you know, that sort of era. And obviously I was a Stone Cold guy because it was everything you sort of wanted to be but weren't allowed to be, especially when you're in school. So I was for that. And I sort of, when I got to around 11, 12, I stopped watching wrestling for a little bit, mainly through peer pressure of other school kids saying, oh, it's not cool, you don't do that anymore. But then I got back into wrestling, and it might come as a surprise to some people, it might not. But John Cena was the guy that I was drawn to because he was doing the Doctor of Thugonomics at the time, that gimmick. And I just, something about that just, you know, I really enjoyed it every week. It was almost like the Attitude Era again in the new Ruthless Aggression era. Mm-hmm. And obviously Brock Lesnar was up there at that time as well, Batista, Orton, you know, it was a great time to be a wrestling fan. So it's you know, it's a cliche that probably you'll hear every week from anyone you talk to, but it's always been my dream to be a wrestler. So it's not necessarily that I've been inspired by someone, but obviously they were my favourites growing up and throughout, you know, my time wrestling. But to me, I've always wanted to be a wrestler. So when I got the chance, I took it. You know, times wrestling in Coventry hasn't, when I was 20, it was 2010. There wasn't really a lot going on in Coventry at that time. I believe there was Phoenix, but they were quite hard to find. I flirted with that idea and then I didn't. And then I basically got stuck into my work outside of wrestling. And before I knew it, I was 24. And then I started to think, I've got to do it now, otherwise it's going to be too late. And fortunately, I put in wrestling in Coventry and CPW turned up. And like I say, here we are now.
That was always a good thing. And I'll tell you what, Niall, I've seen you, like I say, through the when you first come in that door. I mean, to be honest with you, I mean, people like say man like you, maybe say you're not really, you wouldn't really be nervous, but when you come through that door, you could see your nerves when you came in. You weren't sure about what you exactly were going into, but what we liked is you put yourself, everything that we put in front of you to do, you put 100% into doing it. And you're like, right, I want to be I want to be the best at that. I want to be the best at this. I want to do this. I want to do that. And you listened and you took it in. You absorbed everything that everybody told you, and that was the best thing about you and everything that you did in the ring and at training. I mean, you were you just listened and you took it all in and you tried to be the best at what you could do. So
yeah, well, I mean, yeah, that's great. But Yeah, to me, wrestling, if, anyone outside of, in the CPW Galaxy wants to get in superstars or wants to become a wrestler, to me, the main thing is respect. And like you say, when I walked through the doors for CPW, yeah, I was nervous. Of course I was.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what kind of a man, woman, or whatever you want to be. You walk through them doors at any wrestling school, you are going to be intimidated. But it's how you deal with that. And fortunately, through my life experiences, I learned to deal, with a bit of pressure and a bit of, feeling them nerves. But yeah, to me, it's all about respect. And like you say, going back to watching Tough Enough and all these documentaries, that thing that was drilled into me, it's going to be hard, but you keep your mouth shut, your ears open, and you just keep learning. You turn up every week, even when you don't want to. When you're beat up, you're bruised, you're tired, you turn up, you get it done, and eventually you'll earn the respect of everyone else.
Well, that's great. So, anything else on the YouTube then, Aaron? Any more questions?
I was going to say, when you first came in, when you saying about coming first in for the doors, were we still at the Binley Banquet Suite training?
No, you're at where we are now in the PC.
You joined when we'd moved from there?
Yeah, I'm guessing it only just happened.
Yeah, I don't think you ever trained at Binley, did you?
No, I couldn't remember. I remember him. I remember when he first came into the session, because I remember everyone saying, like, "Look at this beast." The guy's 6 foot something, built like a tank, and we're all stood there going, "He's the biggest guy in the room now. Who is this guy who just walked in?" I just couldn't remember. I couldn't remember if it was the banquet suite he'd walked in, if it was at the PC where we're at now. I just couldn't remember in my head. I remember him walking through the door because, like, I think I was talking to Will at the time, and Will was like, me and Will were talking, and we were just like, "Hey man, look size this guy that just walked in. He's massive." I just couldn't remember where we were. I couldn't remember if it was PC or the banquet, but yeah. Okay.
Well, can we go to the
Aaron,
YouTube? Can we go to the YouTube now then, Dave?
Yeah, Aaron's just joining back in.
I'm back. Hello, sorry.
Cool,
Yeah, back to you, Aaron.
Yeah, so, okay. Wes Hanley wants to know, anyone you missed out on facing that you would love to have wrestled in CPW?
Yeah, it's a very good question. I'm trying to think now back through the history of CPW. There's definitely one that sticks out, but obviously he's also a fan favourite, and that's Jake Casanova. Obviously we've sort of crossed paths, but we've never actually got a one-on-one or even a multi-match. We've tagged up, we've been a tag team once. So that, he'd definitely be someone that I'd like to, because when I first come in to CPW, he was a champion at the time, and I'd like to just say he went out of the way to welcome me, make me feel welcome. So, I always appreciate that, and we're good friends outside of it. Elsewise, Brandon Thomas? No.
Yeah, that's the one I was thinking.
Yeah.
I was thinking Brandon Thomas being a great shout for you to wrestle. Big man himself. I'd love to see that match.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure. Did you actually see Brandon Thomas wrestle in CPW now?
No, I just missed him. But I think
okay.
in and out for a little bit while I was there. And like basically every show that he was at, I wasn't for some reason. It just seemed like we never crossed paths. But yeah, that would have been a good match.
It would have been fun.
Yeah, he's definitely another big geezer. It would have been a great one to see.
Anyone else?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, probably, like I say, I'm on, I'm working on the fly. I'm on top of my head. Danny O'Neill, someone that, he's cemented himself in CPW history. He's another bloke that I'll get in there with and learn from. So basically anyone that I can learn from, they've got big match experience, they've been to the main events history, they've held the biggest titles, people that I can gain massive experience from. I had a match with Dan Evans, but obviously that was, I think, my third match in CPW. So obviously I'm a lot different to what I am now. I'd love to get in the ring with Dan Evans again. I haven't faced Scott Oberman yet, so that'd be another one.
Okay, fair.
Dan Evans is. I mean, I've wrestled Dan Evans once, and I felt it the next day.
Yeah,
let's put it that way.
That's it. I mean, I think it was at a Summerfest. I fought him. Like I say, it's my third match.
The outdoor one.
Yes, it was. Yeah.
I think I remember that match actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that show. I remember that match. But I think, like you say, there's people you probably wrestled back like early on in your career, like your first year, where you were like obviously very, very green, to where you are now. And obviously, like you say, there's probably people back then. Like, I know the question is like people you missed wrestling, but it's like, but there's people on that list. Like, I've already wrestled these, but I wrestled them when I was like just starting off. I want to wrestle them now when I'm like better than I've ever been, and I'm only going to get better. I think we all have those matches in our head. And like I say, Dan Evans for you is probably a definite one that I'd love to see in the future.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's inevitable. If Dan sticks around, I ain't going nowhere. So I think eventually our paths will cross. It's just when.
Yeah, no, yeah, you're not going anywhere. I don't think anytime soon, are you?
Yep.
So it could happen. It could happen. No, they're all good matches. CPW is always listening. You never know what could get booked from this show, and what comes out of anyone's questions here. So you never know what you might have down the line in the future. Aaron, what other questions we got? Because I know it's busy on YouTube.
It is busy. I'm going to just throw a few things in there. Emma Shaw's online. Good evening, Emma.
Emma.
Hi, Emma.
Emma, I did have my money on you being our mystery guest tonight, actually. But that didn't work, did it? This is what her tag team.
Aaron keeps freezing.
Yeah.
Aaron,
what's going on with Aaron?
No, you're not.
Okay. Aaron seems to be having issues at the moment, so I'll carry on. There's a lot of talk on there at the moment. So there's a lot of talk about a tag team and a person you have mentioned that you haven't been mentioned yet, but there's a question from Coventry Pro Wrestling that links to a lot of the chat that's on there at the moment. Is there a professional rivalry between yourself and Isaac Quinton for the third, IQ3?
I think that goes without saying. Yeah, I think that's a preloaded question. I think a lot of people already know our history. I think Isaac Quinton started training a couple of weeks, maybe a month before me. We've crossed paths briefly, but he was a lot more experienced at the time than what I was. He's been away for a little while, and in that time, I feel I've had a lot of opportunities and I've grown as a wrestler. So, yeah, I mean, I'd love to get it on with him again. There's definitely a professional rivalry. I haven't beaten him. We've faced each other twice. He's beat me twice. So I want to beat him, basically. If he wants to come back, get himself up them rankings, let's make it a title. Let's do it. So
you want to have that opportunity to get that W against him at least once. But obviously, at the moment, the issue is he's come back as a changed man slightly, hasn't he? So he's gone away and found God or found something to bring him to what they call the good side of life. He's trying to work, getting the crowd behind him. He came back a little bit of a different man. So obviously that slightly changes things, but still, like you say, you definitely want to get that win against him, don't you? Yeah, I mean, beforehand, I didn't like the way that he was. Both matches, he's done things which I didn't agree with to get wins. He may well be a changed man. I don't know if I believe it or not, but at the moment, you've got to take his word for it. To me, it's about competition. It doesn't matter if I agree with what he does or if I don't. Like you say, at the moment, he's on what you say the good side of life. But to me, it's about competition, about proving that I am the fighting champion. Mm-hmm. I'm a lot better than when I first faced Isaac Quinton III. Yeah. I know he's been training, if you look on his Instagram, he's always doing something training-wise. I know when he come back, he's looked impressive. So, like I said earlier, I want to face guys that are going to bring me up to that next level.
like I say, I'm not the finished article by any means, but the way I'll get further up and, into the bigger matches is by facing guys like IQ3.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I definitely agree with you on that. Like I say, he's probably one of the best shaped guys on the roster. I mean, if people have seen some of his workouts, they're insane. So you can't take that away from him. But like I say, competition has always been one of the big things at CPW, especially when it involves titles or opportunities. And like I say, you've got a professional rival with him. So to you, it's like, well, hang on. I don't care if you're the good guy or the bad guy. I don't care if everyone loves you or everyone hates you. You've beat me twice. I need to get that win. I want to fight you one more time. No, I respect that from you. Aaron, what's everyone talking about with the IQ3 thing? Now you're back working.
Yeah. Sorry, I don't know what's going on my internet tonight. I reckon I'm sharing Dale's.
Yeah, could be, mate. We're all at it.
So obviously we're talking about the IQ3, and then I'm just going to go back here somewhere. Wesper, IQ3 and Niall. Oh my God, what a tag team that would be. Coventry Pro Wrestling said it would be like the Mega Powers.
Wow.
I think I'd like to see that.
Bit of a compliment there, ain't it, Niall?
Definitely, yeah.
Wow.
I mean, yeah.
Compared to the Mega Powers.
Yeah, I thought it was quite a compliment with the Hulk Hogan chat, beforehand. So, yeah, there's definitely a Hulk Hogan sort of, there's compliment. Like I say, if it's like this every week, I'll come on every week.
Oh, mate, yeah.
Hey, there you go.
But yeah,
each week, your head getting bigger and bigger from all these compliments. Like, keep them coming, guys. I love it.
Yeah, I'm free next week.
As a tag team, yeah, that'll definitely be interesting. I think, like I say, we've got varying styles. If you watch him on Instagram, he's very athletic. Like I say, he's in great shape. I'm guessing he's around 85 kilogram. I'm around 105, 110, depending. It's definitely on the scale of 110 at the moment after Christmas and New Year. I've let slip a bit.
Same as.
So, I think we've got all bases covered. So, yeah, I'd be more than up for a little tag team run, see where we go with that, and see if that professional rivalry leaks in or not.
I think the tag team champions might have a bit of trouble if you two were a team, to be fair.
Look, yeah. First of all, we'll have the match. Then we'll have a shot competition. Then we'll decide who's the champs. Yeah, that's what.
Anyone noticed there that Lee didn't say anything about like a press-up competition or any kind of fitness competition?
Yeah.
Gonna lose it.
No.
You know what? I'll squat with Nathan. No, I won't. Well, fuck. No, I won't. I'm lying.
Lee didn't say anything about fitness because he's more worried about being injured.
Oh, there you go.
You watch your mouth.
You. Yeah, okay, mate.
Let's get to the YouTube then.
So, Coventry Pro Wrestling, Noel Fairchild versus Scott Oberman is money. I tell you what, Noel, you are getting some compliments tonight, brother.
Oh yeah. Like I said,
I'm loving it.
This pretty much throughout this podcast, I want to carry it on. I'm not finished article by any means. I've got a lot to learn, and I'm willing to put the effort in like I have throughout my time in CPW. And as Phil knows, I've come to him a lot more recently and said I want the opportunities, and I'll get those opportunities by having these matches against people and proving that I'm of worth of being in those sorts of matches.
I think you are.
What I want to know, Niall, what I want to know is, are you, in the end, I know you've had to run with the Galaxy Championship, the Blue Blood Championship. In the end, is your objective to go and get the main titles, the CPW and Lineal Championships? Are these titles that you would want to get your hands on?
Well, I think that goes without saying, to be quite honest. If there's anybody listening now who's part of the CPW roster and doesn't want to compete for the Lineal and be the Lineal champion and be the CPW heavyweight champion, then why are you here? I've said it from the get-go to Phil, from the day that I walked in. I want to be the very best. I want to be the man in CPW. I know I've got a lot of learning to get there, but without sounding too cocky or big-headed, I think the hard work eventually will pay off.
Well said, mate. Taking the words out of everyone's mouth here, especially those like myself and Dal and Lee that have been here for many years. You know, it's one of the biggest things is, like you always say, if you ain't here to be number one, if you ain't here to go for the top title or to have that top title, then why are you in wrestling? Same reason why, like some people say, like if the dream as a youngster isn't to go to WWE, the number one promotion, then what's the point sometimes? No, taking words out of mouth. I respect those answers that answer there, mate. Well done, nice.
Great answer.
Wes Handy wants to know what makes the Galaxy the best fans ever.
That's that all the time, isn't it?
He does. I like him.
Yeah, very good question again. To me, it's just the fact that they've had my back from the get-go. You know, like we were talking earlier about my debut match with Tomby. I come out, no one had any idea who I was, didn't have a clue. There's probably around 200 people in the Binley banqueting suite. At first, no one gave a shit. And why would you? Because it's just some guy that's coming out. You know, you've got no idea who he is, never seen him before. But throughout that match, people started to care. And, you know, I got an absolute beating in that match. I don't even know if I even threw a fist in fury. You know, I think I just got battered. And eventually, Tomby decided it was time to finish it. So, but throughout that, you know, I started to hear the fans. Obviously, they didn't really know my name, so they started just saying, you know, come on, let's get going. At one point, Tomby put me on the rails, and he was running towards me, and this old guy there, he started trying to pull my legs off the rail to save me. So, you know, like moments like that, you know, you remember, and that's why I've always been about the CPW Galaxy. You know, like even in times like this where we haven't, you know, unfortunately, we haven't had the CPW Galaxy at our shows. You look on Facebook and you look at the Galaxy group when they're watching along, and the amount of interaction we get is incredible. And it's not even, you know, like you talk about the CPW Galaxy is in Coventry, but a lot of you will know, you know, we've got worldwide following at the moment as well. We've got a lot of fans in America. I've got a few people from America talking to me saying that they're enjoying what we're producing. So, you know, it's fantastic. Unfortunate time for everyone. No one wants to be living like this. But I think it's a great credit to CPW and the staff that they've somehow made a positive of this when a lot of wrestling companies have just gone blank. They've just disappeared. But CPW is here nearly every week delivering content through CPW Galaxy. And that's what makes CPW Galaxy great, because we give them something. Even when times are hard, we give them something. And they respond by giving us everything they've got. And that's why I love them, and that's why I love CPW.
No,
amen to that, mate. Amen.
Yeah, amen to that. Like you said, especially this time of year, like you say, I've been so blown by the interaction we've had from the Galaxy on the Galaxy page. You know, all respect to you, the message you recently got from a fan in America. Like you said, we are hitting people all around the world. Even on Talking Madness, we've got people watching from around the world. CPW Galaxy pay-per-views, the box office shows, got people viewing it from all around the world as well. And like I say, that's down to, you know, the boss and the promotion itself still going strong, still putting out content, and people just wanting to watch wrestling and have something to have in their life, which isn't 4 walls in a room because they're locked in a house. So yeah, you said everything right. This is why he's the natural, isn't he? He's a natural, just knows the right answers. He knows what to say. He knows it.
But anyone like who does watch us from another country, we've got to say thank you. You know, like thank you for taking us, especially on here, just tuning in to listen to 4 knobheads and then another person every week talking shit. You know, thank you guys. Like it means a lot to us. So thank you very much. Love you guys.
Well, I'd like to take you back a second there, Lee. Never mind the knobheads, mate. I'm not.
I like how that was just like, I don't care if we got people viewing this. I don't want to be referred to as one of the knobheads right now. Thank you, mate.
Wait.
but I do agree that I do thank every single person that have given us their time tonight to watch us.
Always.
Do our best to entertain them.
So, Aaron, you keep
Yes, I'm here.
disappearing.
Mate, I don't know what's going on tonight. This is where you live. Listen, when you live in the countryside like me, right, we have to share it between everyone else in the village, I reckon, the internet. So I don't know what's going on. AA likes to say, we're just saying watching around the world. He says, amen to that. I'm watching from India. So
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's
Again.
pretty cool to know you watch from
What
India.
other questions you got, Aaron?
I've got a few here. Wes has thrown 3 at me pretty quickly. First one, how much would it cost to drop the leg on Dale?
I'll chip into that. I'll chip in. Go on, everyone, put in your money.
Niall.
Oh, that's a very laid question. To be fair, me and Dale could speak about this privately outside of it, and we could have a little hustle going on if we wanted to. Putting it out there.
Fight. Don't make him bring Rudolph back.
Yeah, well, I mean, if I drop the leg on him, who's to know what happens? Yeah, he could just get straight back up like the Ultimate Warrior for all I know.
Shake them ropes,
Yeah.
and then you'll be in a world of trouble, my friend.
Exactly.
Just Rudolph wins the shit
Yeah.
out of it.
So, well, we will wait and see that one with bated breath. Another one of Wes's questions that he asks every week, which is really good, is Niall, CPW Mount Rushmore, 1 female, 1 fan, and 2 male.
Oh, you know why he said 1 fan, don't you? Because he's dying to play in that, isn't he?
Again, it's a very good question, but very hard question. I think the 2 males, it's not too hard, but it's for what they've done, and that's obviously Mr. Richards and World Star. Obviously, I think Mr. Richards goes without saying, with CW, and obviously all the wars that he's been through, and like right now he's sitting at home, he's recovering from double knee surgery. He's put his body on the line for CPW Galaxy and for CPW. So I think without question that Mr. Richards is number 1. World Star, to me, has got to be up there, the longest reigning lineal champion. The reason why Niall Fairchild is here is because Will Star trained me. I think he's actually trained everyone in this room, I believe. Yep. And basically anyone that you see on the CPW roster from the local area has gone through Will Star's training. Yeah. So another one that goes without saying. Female, that is tough, because I was thinking about this earlier. There's not that many homegrown, CPW females, but at the moment there is. We've got Shorty, we've got Emma Cross, we've got Naomi coming through. From all accounts, I haven't seen myself, but from all accounts, she's looking good. So I'm looking forward to seeing what she can bring. Trying to think who else is there. That's local.
Carrie.
And then
Little Susie.
Yeah, definitely. So that's someone that I've got to give a little shout out to. Little Susie, she's been thrown into the spotlight with yourself, Nathan, and I think she's handled it excellently. Pretty much she's been told you're in the main event nearly every week, every event, and you're going to have things to do. And as far as I know, she hasn't really put a foot wrong. So, it's big credit to her. Carrie, definitely, she's definitely one for the future. But I think I'm going to have to go with the original, which is Lizzie Styles.
Yeah.
She cemented the women's division on what it is today. So it's got to be her. And obviously, I think the one that Wes is looking forward to most, the fan. This one is really tough. So I'm going to give a really political answer here and say a faction, the Chicken Club.
Yeah.
Love it.
obviously,
Yeah.
we all know what Wes brings us here. Thank you for all your questions tonight. You're always here. You're always on the social, giving it to everyone. We really appreciate it. Personally, obviously, Emma Shaw is very special to me because she's always backed me from the get-go. Same for the Woodward family. So it's hard, you know, there is bias in my camp. And obviously Bushman and Martin and his family, Kelly, it's hard to say there's one. So I'm going to say that.
It says something though, doesn't it? You know, when the amount of amazing guys that have come through CPW on the roster, yeah, it's easier to pick from them than it is to pick from the fans, because every single fan we have is just amazing. You know, like they get so invested in it. You know, they make it. You know, they bleed CPW. It's amazing.
And they all bring something different. Like you got the Morris family, always big numbers, big and loud. They bring an atmosphere that's always going to be different. There's so many different groups of fans that come in little pairs or in little groups that always bring something different, and like they have their own little favorites and the people they cheer for and boo against. But yeah, like you say, it's always hard. I think that is the hardest one out of most people to pick as a fan sometimes, because different fans have done different things for you throughout your career.
Yeah, that's it. Like I say, you're gonna be biased to people that obviously have helped you develop. Look, I don't know how I forgot the Morris family, but obviously the Morris family as well. Like I say, this is going back to Wes's other question about why the CPW Galaxy is so special. I think that's answered it better than what I answered it before. Basically, you can't distinguish one as being the number one fan. It's like there's about 20.
Yeah. Yeah, I really agree with you.
Now, I want to give a shout out. Is it Jem who's doing all the drawings?
Oh,
yeah, Gemma, yeah.
Let's talk about Gemma.
Yeah, let's do it.
Some of those drawings are amazing, man. Some of them, but as I have said, I'm waiting for a Team Madness one, Gemma. I'm just saying, I want to see it, but no.
Fake Madness.
I don't think Gage Fraser would be happy with that.
Fake Madness.
Talk my toes, yeah.
Fake Madness.
With me and Eli, because we're the champ.
You'll be injured again.
I know you was talking. I know you was lads. Stop going at each other. It's about Niall and about Gemma right now. But no, like you said there, Niall, I know you were talking at the time, and like the stuff that she's doing, taking her own time to draw these pictures for all the different wrestlers. She's done quite a few at the moment, and I guarantee we'll see more over the lockdown and continuing forward in 2021. It's a big respect to her for doing that and taking the time to do that. But it just goes to show, like, the impact we're having on one person who feels the need to, express her passion for it and her love for the company by making these pictures for the wrestlers. Obviously, Niall's hoping for his soon as well.
Well, I think I'm actually going to put it out there, quite like what Lee is. Drawing, then I've earned it. So that's how I'm seeing it. So we'll see. That's
the way to be. If you get one, you obviously earn it. If you ask for it, Lee, you haven't earned
it. Can I just say that I'm on one already, like Nathan is. Me and Nathan have got one already. Just thought I'd put that out. See, you might be the champion, mate, but I'm already on a poster.
It's all right, mate. It's all right. Yeah, but she didn't get quite your weight on there, though, did she?
Mate, let's just put this right. Me and Niall are the same weight, the same build. When I walk out with my pants on, everyone shouts, Niall, Niall. And I have to say, listen, I'm not Niall. I might look like him, but I'm not Niall. No, it's happened to you, hasn't it, mate? Many times.
That's to be fair, yeah. We've talked about it before. We've talked about, like the Bellas doing the twin magic.
Yeah.
What we're going to do is we're going to put Rage in some of my trunks, get him under the ring, and if I need a little breather, And
I want to also do a big shout out to Jem, who's doing the drawings. She's not even from Coventry. She's not one of our local fans either. She's someone who I think she lives in like towards the Hinckley, Northampton area. I'm not 100% sure. I don't know for a fact.
Northampton, Nathan. Northampton.
Is it Northampton? She comes from that. She comes from Northampton. And and that's she's mainly watched she probably watched most of our shows on demand through pay-per-view, through box office, and that's how she's got invested through what we've been doing on the tapings, the live streams, and we've managed to connect to her so much just through the camera that she's become invested. So again, a thank you for what you're doing so far. We appreciate it so much.
She has also been to live shows, Nathan, but yeah.
I know, but I mean, I'm just saying she's not from a local area, so.
Yeah. Oh, I agree, mate. Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's awesome.
Also, we've got the two guys that I think they come from Milton Keynes that come to the shows as well.
Yeah.
That they're always there. They're always polite, always happy to be there to see the wrestling. Always just real nice guys. So it just goes to show you, what we're doing is not just getting in the Coventry, West Midlands, Warwickshire area. We're doing it in other towns as well. So it just goes to show what we're doing is really good.
Absolutely.
Well,
getting the word out there. Well, clearly, yeah.
Shut up, Dale.
Yeah.
Right, we'll go back to the questions because I don't like Dale
YouTube.
Now. Yeah. So I have got some. Wes wants to know, what does Niall think of the Superstars project?
Another good question, Wes. I personally think it's absolutely excellent. I mean, I think the results speak for themselves without me saying anything. I mean, you look at our roster now, and I'd say half of them are from the Superstars project.
Mm-hmm.
To me, I was thinking about this earlier as well. Obviously, I knew I was coming on, but none of you guys did. So
I'm glad you knew.
I'm glad you knew.
So I was thinking, I think I might have possibly been the last guy to actually come through the training school before the Superstars project. Don't quote me on it, but I think possibly.
Yeah.
I think the family come in, but obviously they've already rested elsewhere. So, from scratch, which is what mainly the Superstars project is. Guys from scratch, get 12, 15 weeks training or longer, depending on if Boris decides to lock us down or whatever shit he's doing this week. I think it's excellent because, like I said earlier, it's always been my dream to be a wrestler. So for a lot of people, it could be a one-shot deal. They get to say, well, I did it. It wasn't for me, but I did it. Or they get to say, I love that so much, I've got to do it again. I'm going to sign up for Superstars season 2, season 3, season 4. Season 4, we're on, or 5 now?
5, I think, isn't it?
And obviously you've got Gage there. We've got who else we've got?
James Cross,
yeah.
Emma Cross, Gage Rage, Carrie, Little
Shorty.
Susie, Little Charlie, Ride Dog. I mean, I could keep going all day.
Ryan Conway.
Yeah, there's loads of them.
Little Shorty.
Shorty. I can't forget Shorty.
Yeah.
So to me, it's excellent, and CPW is reaping the benefit of it because, like I say, half our roster has now come from that Superstars program. So, and like I say, it's giving people that necessarily, like we said earlier, it takes a lot to walk through those doors on your own and step in and not be intimidated. I can remember, I think I missed the first week. I was driving around trying to find the performance centre, couldn't find it. I just went home and I questioned myself. I thought, well, do I turn up next session or not? Because it is intimidating. Like you say, you don't know anyone, you don't know what you're in for. But I think the Superstars project almost gives you like a little blanket, like a little comfort blanket. You know that you're going in there with people that have little to no experience at all. So, there's going to be 12, 15, however many people there is in the same boat as you. So it makes it that little bit easier. And like I say, it gives people the chance to fulfill their dream. There might be, eventually there might be a guy that's 50 that says, I just want one match just to say I've done it.
I'd love that.
Well, I don't think the guy was 50. We did have season 1 or season 2. quote me, Dad, if I'm wrong, but we had Cash.
Yes, Cash.
Season one.
I think he was in his season 1. I think he was in his 40s, maybe.
I
Don't know exact age. Maybe early 50s. But he only did it for the one match. He did it for that one experience, for his kid to see him in the ring.
He did.
Good lad he was. Good guy.
It was Nate. He did really well, and he was saying for ages after he was going to carry on, but he just didn't. And but yeah, like you said, I don't think a lot of people, it's not for everyone. Maybe just people want to get out the way that, I've always wanted to try it, but I honestly can't see how after you've done it once, you don't want to carry on. You know what I mean?
You get the bug.
Yeah.
It's like, I always remember Mr. Richards saying it's like a drug. It's like a drug you never ever take, and like the come down's the worst come down ever. So you need to come back to take that drug again. Like I said, on season 1, I started CPW. I mean, there was it like 2-3 weeks before the Superstar project started, didn't it? Wasn't it, Dale?
Yes, Aaron, you got
what's happened to your
turn your volume up, mate.
Your mic's gone really quiet.
Is it? Okay.
There we go. I can hear you now, mate. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it was like 2-3 weeks, 4 weeks before season 1 started. I turned up.
Yep. Yeah.
I
remember it well.
Gotcha. And I know what you're saying, Niall. It's that walking into the unknown, and it's like all these lads turn around, look at you, and you're thinking, it's like going back to school again. Your first day at senior school, and like all the lads just turn around and like thinking which one's going to rob my like lunch money or something like that. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, I didn't think. Well, I didn't think I was only going to do it for the season 1, but then the drug just hit me so much. I was like, I've got to keep going. Really had to after that. So I know that feeling.
And just a second bit to this question. As someone that's been a part of the Superstars program on the other side, I don't class myself as this at all, so don't get my words twisted. But as a veteran compared to obviously who you're facing, it's definitely up there. I've won 2 history matches. I've won 2 titles in those 2 matches. They're probably the top right now for Niall Fairchild, but just below that is the Superstars matches that I've had. Because, like you say, you go out there and it's basically on you to make sure that the guy that you're facing, or female, whoever it is that you're facing, deals with going out there. Because it's all, you can train, you can do matches in training, and it's fine when you're in front of people. But when you're in front of your friends and family, and normally the Superstars program, like the shows, are draw big. So you're talking 150, 200 people. That's a lot to go out to when you've never been out in front of a crowd before. So it's your experienced wrestler, veteran, whatever you want to call them. Like I say, I'm not calling myself that. To get you through it and to guide you through it. And to me, that it's so rewarding when you get back and that you see they're so buzzing, they're so happy that everything went how it, they got to experience what they wanted, and you help create that. To me, it's almost like giving back, and I love that. It's just fantastic.
Yeah. No, I completely agree with you. I think that's one thing that me, Will, and Mr. Richards has discussed before. The innocence on their faces when they first walk through the door, and the excitement and the passion they show is
the energy.
It's so amazing. Like,
it's fantastic.
Yeah, like I say, Dal, the energy. It's so amazing to see. They're so excited. They're so keen because it's something new. But like I say, it's a lot about giving back as well. Will's been in the business a lot longer than I have. I'm coming up to now 7 years. I'm 30 odd years old. There's younger people out there that have got longer careers to go than I probably could have, and to give back to them and see them have a massive future is what it's about. But yeah, I again, no, amazing answers there, perfect answers. Like I say, the Superstar Project is just on point with what it's doing for the company, the business, and like I say, the amount of like CBW homegrown talent for females has never been that big. You know, years ago, 3-4 years ago, we had Athena come through the doors. She obviously disappeared, and then we had obviously Lucia Lee come through our doors. You know, we only ever had the one female that was homegrown at all times, and then we started Superstars. And season 2, season 3, season 4, more and more females started coming through those doors. More and more young women wanted to come and become wrestlers because they're seeing that there's something they can get invested in. They could, you know, they could get passionate about it, and they could feel comfortable knowing that they could practice 12 weeks, have a match, see if it's something they like, if they enjoy it. And, you know, the amount of girls we now have on the roster that are coming through is amazing. For example, obviously, you know, we've got some of them watching tonight, Shannon, Shorty, you know, Carrie, Emma, you know, all those girls are doing what they're doing now in CPW because of Superstars Project. And talking about the girls in the Superstar Project, I hear, Aaron, there's a bit of beef going on the CPW YouTube page. What's happening?
Let's get to
it. So, Emma, obviously Emma's giving it the big and how the Natural Born Killers are going to take over everything. And then Shannon the Cannons come back with Emma. You say that, but didn't you get beaten once? One being Carrie and other, etc. So I'm thinking she's saying, didn't you get beaten by Carrie?
Yeah.
I think it was a mixed tag match, wasn't it? It was Morrison, Emma versus Carrie, and I can't remember who tagged me Carrie. Was it Will Starr?
Was it?
No.
Go on, Dale. Go on.
You're the man.
I believe I'm pretty sure it was a singles match that Carrie managed to get the upper hand.
Yeah, I think it was because I was on commentary, and it was a big shock. I mean, it was a great match and it was a great win, but it was, you know, it was a shock, and I think it was like the one like Carrie's first, like, you know, proper win, and you know, it was a great match. But yes, it is true that she did lose to Carrie.
Okay, so singles match. Oh, it's even bigger match. Shock. Yes. Wow.
So is that something building?
The mixed tag you're talking about was with the mixed tag you're talking about. The mixed tag you were talking about with Ryan Conway. They didn't win that. So, but yeah, it was definitely Carrie did beat Emma in a singles match.
Wow. And obviously there you go. Shannon's there calling out Emma about the loss. I mean, that's a match though. That's a match in the making. Shannon versus Emma Cross. You know,
I'll pay to see that.
That's a money match. That is. That's a box office spoiler. Who would your money be on, Niall?
See that.
You know what? I'll just be happy to see Shannon back. I think she had a little bit of time off. I think she's come back a little bit. I don't know if I can say that. It might be a spoiler. Hopefully she gets on board for the Superstars Project again, and we get that match. She ain't called the Cannon for no reason. You know, there's a lot of power. You know, so Emma Cross has got to deal with that. The only thing is, Emma Cross has now got a lot of experience throughout this lockdown. The same applies for me. I've got a lot of matches, and I'm sure Emma has as well, that just wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for this lockdown, because we wouldn't be recording shows. We'd be doing our normal set shows on the Saturdays and the occasional special. But by going week in, week out, I've faced a lot of guys that I just probably wouldn't have faced this year. And that's the same for Emma. She's got a lot of matches that she probably wouldn't have got. So she's got a lot of experience right now. So Shannon would have to bring literally everything she's got and show us why she's called Shannon the Cannon. Yeah. Emma, again, she's got the experience. She's finding her feet now. I don't like her attitude. I don't, you know, she's talking, it sounds like she's talking a lot of smack. I can't see it. You've got to back it up. So, you know, I'm going to go with Shannon, because at the moment, Emma ain't backing it up. So,
wow.
I mean, you've got Shannon's back then, Niall.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, like, that's not a bad shout either. I mean, like I say, Emma does have the BMF in her corner, Morris. You know, she's obviously going to get extra training from Morris, you know, and he's not a bad person to learn from. You know, he knows what he's doing. He's been in the business now many years. You know, he's always at the top end of the roster in regards to the male side of things. So that plays in factor. Again, like I say, Emma's got a bit more experience now. And obviously she will have Morris in the corner. But it sounds like you say, Dal says you're back in Shannon there. So obviously, you never know. You could be in Shannon's corner. Mixed tag match there. Niall and Shannon versus Morris and Emma. You know, there's a lot coming from this. But
Morris wants his bout.
You know what I mean?
His bout.
Who's your money on, Lee?
Well, I mean, you know, Shannon, she did impress me a lot when I saw her training, but Emma's mean. And she's had, like Niall says, man, she's got a lot more experience at the minute. So I'm just for that reason, I'm going to have to go with Emma.
Shock horror.
Yeah.
What about you?
Well, after all this talk, sorry, go on, Lee.
I was going to say, you know,
go on, Lee, carry on.
Knobhead, because we all know why he asked that question, but you carry on, mate.
No, you carry on, mate.
You're talking. As well.
You're in mid-flow. You carry on, mate.
Yeah, Lee, we're listening to you, mate.
No, I was talking about Aaron. I was saying we all know why he asked that question, but
we're enjoying your answer.
Why is that?
No, shut up.
I'm gonna stop this before he starts blushing or gets awkward and nearly cries on camera.
Listen, I'm enjoying listening to Lee.
I mean,
I'm enjoying listening to Lee. He's very quiet. And
we're talking about Emma, and I've got some big news. Big news just came in, guys. You know how we like announcements on this show. We love a good announcement.
Of course we do.
Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, next week we already know who our guest is going to be.
Who is it?
Who? Ladies and gentlemen, next week on Talking Madness, our guest is going to be none other than Emma Cross.
Oh, wow.
She gets to answer all these questions. She will get to state her point on here on why things are going the way they are. We get to learn about the natural born killers. Obviously, she can reply to the comments from Shannon herself. You know, hey,
it is going off.
It's going to kick off.
Wow.
We're going to have to before the show, we got to put parental advisory because I mean, those who did the labyrinth, her and Morris were quite explicit in their questions. They didn't hold back. They were a couple of curse words, so we can expect some foul-mouthed conversations from this young lady next week. But ladies and gentlemen, next week, Emma Cross is going to be our guest. But tonight we've got Niall on.
Look forward to that.
Back to the main man himself, Niall.
Yep, let's do it.
We've got a question from. I've got a question on Facebook that came through to me regarding one of our female superstars, Shorty. Obviously, Shorty right now just got a massive win for herself and become the number one contender. Now, you've been in that situation yourself before, being a number one contender. What advice would you give to someone like Shorty, who's in her first opportunity as a number one contender, going into that big match moment for the CPW Women's Championship?
Wow. Firstly, I want to say congratulations, Shorty. Like you said, she's come from Superstars Project. It's been a pleasure to watch her grow, as you know, from someone that was sitting in the crowd to now the number one contender for, you know, the CPW Women's title. So congratulations, you've come far, but now is the time that you've got to show how far you've come. You know, like I say, I've been the number one contender before. It's hard because I know you're going against one of the best females, you know, in the UK, if not the world, in Chantal Jordan. It ain't going to be easy. But the thing that I've always stuck to is to never give up. I know it sounds corny, it's cliche, but I've always been in the title matches that I've had. And the 2 title matches I've had, I've won. And it's because I've been good. It's as simple as that. You've got to remember where you've come from You know, 2 years ago, you were sitting in the crowd watching, probably thinking, I wish I could do this. Well, now you're doing it. And you're not just doing it, you're the number one contender. You know, you've got to get to training as much as you possibly can whenever that can happen. When Boris, you know, whatever Boris allows us to do, whatever day of the week it is. You know, maybe we can only do it at 10 when we've got stripy socks on. Who knows? But whenever you can, get to training, learn from world class. That's what you've got to do. Get as much training and ring time as you possibly can, because you're going up against one. And if you want to be CPW Women's Champion, or if you want to be a champion in CPW at all, you've got to put the hard work in. You've got to be ready to bleed. You've got to be ready to die for CPW if you want to be a champion, because you ain't ever going to get an easy night in CPW, whether you're the number one contender, the champion, or you're trying to get up the ranks. It just don't happen. Competition is fierce. And the only way that you can become number one is by working harder than anyone else. So get to training, work hard, train outside of wrestling, work on your cardio, work on your weights, work on anything you possibly can. Anything you think will give you an edge, take it. Talk to Chantal Jordan's previous opponents. Watch your tapes, do your research. Anything you can to get that edge, because you're going to need it. I'm not going to bullshit you. You're going to need it. But I've got the faith in you. I believe the CPW Galaxy's got the faith in you. And to me, the Galaxy holds the key to all success. You look at the main events, the number one contendership matches I've had, the title matches, different with CPW Galaxy. Galaxy's harness their power. Whether they're there or not, it doesn't matter. You will feel it. I feel it whenever we go out and there's no crowd. I feel it every single time. And when I come backstage and I look at my phone, it's blowing up from the Galaxy. So I know they've got my back and they've got yours. So use that. That is your main bit of advice from me.
Great advice.
Can't argue with that.
Like I said, every time I've asked you questions tonight now, mate, I'm gobsmacked by the answers. They're absolutely amazing. True. No man speaks truer words than you by the sounds of it. You know, even on YouTube, I think they're impressed with what you're saying. Like, you know, the advice you're giving is spot on. No one needs, you know, none of us need to say anything afterwards because your words are amazing. I'm just complimenting you because, like, gee, I'm just blown by the answers you're giving every time. Like, you know, this just shows like the type of person you are, and reason why you're so loved by people, because, you know, you do keep it a bit real, but, you know, you speak honestly, but your words just words of wisdom every time. So fair play to
definitely.
You. Aaron, any more questions for Niall, or have we got any questions for him?
Aaron?
No, I mean, he's now talking to Niall. He's not. Are you doing mime? Is there a wall in front of you?
Is he there?
Aaron?
We can't hear you, mate, at all.
Hello, mate. Can't hear you, mate.
Can hear you, bro. No, you still can't hear you, mate.
Turn your volume up, mate.
Right, well, look, Niall, like, we spoke a lot about wrestling. So, what do you do outside of wrestling? Like, what's your job? I know what your job is, but tell the CPW Galaxy, you know, what you do, what for money, you know, how you make your living. Because it's a pretty cool job. It sounds cool anyway.
Yeah, it sounds cool, but it's not as cool as what you think. But the technical term to try and impress you is that I am an aeronautical engineer at Rolls-Royce.
You're telling me that don't sound, you know, that sounds so cool. Come on.
Yeah, so I've been at Rolls-Royce for 14 years now. It's not the cars, it's not as cool as that, but we build the jet engines. I started at Anstey in Coventry for about, I think, 6-7 years before that closed. And that was all defence work. That was quite cool. I got to travel the UK and see some of the MOD defence bases, go work on engines there. So, you know, anything like the Harrier jump jet, the Apache helicopters, that was what I mainly worked on. I helped build them. Unfortunately, Anstey's now gone. So I work in Derby. I still live in Coventry, but I travel there every day. Well, every day that I work. Now I build the engine you go on holiday on. I'm now, well, actually, I don't build them. I'm now an inspector. I've swapped over. The way that Rolls works, you have to have a sort of basic knowledge, and you get that knowledge building it, and then you become an inspector. You know how the engine goes together. You built them and you've took them apart. So you're a man of experience. Now I've worked my way up to what's called a super inspector. So I'm one of few in the shop that can basically make decisions about where we're going with engines and what we're doing. So yeah, I mean, that's about it in a nutshell.
I mean, it is cool though. I mean, you've worked your way up through that. Obviously, you've worked your way up through CPW. You started out doing your first thing, and now you're almost boss man. That's pretty cool.
Bit like yourself, Lee.
No.
I mean, you started out by just like pouring milk, and now you can add sugar to that milk, can't you?
Yeah, sugar.
I'm not gonna lie now. The last few shows we've had people on that are probably way more intelligent than any of us guys with their jobs.
Which ain't hard.
Which isn't hard. I love a good Apache helicopter. Who does them?
Been in loads, mate. Been in loads, yeah.
I mean, I've never been in one, Lee. I just say I like the look of an Apache helicopter, and anyone who plays any kind of war games or watches war films, I mean, Apache helicopters are like the go-to helicopters on these films. So everyone's seen one Apache helicopter, and they're pretty impressive. Don't quote me, but I think factually they're the most used helicopter within the military anyway.
Yeah.
Is it true though? Now I've got a secret communication device. Someone's told me, is it true that some people around the world pay 10K for your services?
Wow. What's this?
Yes.
Right. Yep. Let's go into this.
Elaborate, because I'm going to let the CPW Galaxy listening make up their own minds on why people would pay 10 grand for my services.
Lap dance.
Tell us.
It's a lap dance. It's a lap dance.
Is it?
You pay 10 grand for a lap dance doesn't mean everyone would.
I would.
I know, I probably would if I had it.
Yeah. Do you want to go halves?
Yeah, all right. Would that work?
Hey, book him on the oil rigs to dance.
Wow.
You might have to start saving up, guys. You might give it about, I don't know, 50 years. And then you might have enough money.
You sound broke? Huh? You trying to say I'm broke?
You said you're broke.
No, I didn't say that.
Yes, you did. You said it doesn't matter if WWE sue us because I've got no money. You've said it. Yeah. You've said you're broke.
Yeah. Oh, mate, I can't tell WWE what I've got in the bank, can I?
£2.50. Probably £2.50.
Going back to when you're talking about Apaches, I got really excited actually because I thought you was on about Apache Indian, like the rapper from the 90s.
What?
God, I thought he works with Apache Indian. I was like, we got really excited for a second then.
I don't know how you got that because he said he builds the jet engines. So what, you think the rapper works off jet engines? Like it's only way he powers himself every day.
He said Apaches, didn't he?
He weren't listening, basically. That's what he's saying. All he heard was one word and he got himself excited. And then when he came back to it, that's what it was.
Apache Indian, sorry.
Right. It does sound like an amazing job now.
It does.
Again,
it does,
proving why Niall Fairchild is the naturally talented by the sounds of it.
Natural everything. That's what I pay him 10 grand, mate.
He sounds like he's every woman's ideal man, and every man wants to be him.
Hold on, can we just roll back a minute there? Every ideal woman's man, I'd take him.
Wow,
but you're a woman secretly with a beard.
And can I just say, Dale, what are you eating?
Yeah.
I mean, Dale.
Dale.
You are making us look
what's going on?
So unprofessional at the moment in front of Niall Farquhar.
No, what?
Farquhar.
That's my. I once called him Niall Farquhar. Introduced him to the ring. I don't even know. I mean, for those who know where Farquhar comes from, it comes from the Shrek films. But yeah, I don't know what happened. I just once, I believe it was.
Did it once? Did it loads?
No, I only did it once as an actual introduction. I then just carried on calling him Niall Farquhar. But I actually, I think it was like about a year or so ago where I accidentally called him Niall Farquhar. And everyone was like, no, I didn't call him Farquhar. I called him not Fairchild. What did I used to say? It wasn't Fairchild. It was...
Well, it don't matter anyway.
Stop yapping. Let's get back to
let's get back to the
YouTube now, yeah?
Yeah, so now I've got a question from my man from Mumbai, Double A. He wants to know, if you can wrestle anyone from WWE, who would it be?
Good question.
That is an excellent question, yeah. Again, it's one, I'm going to struggle for one person.
Could be still present, Niall, if you want, but...
I'm going to break it down into... say past and present. So in the past, you don't get no bigger than Hogan, really, does it? You know, someone that's been around the world, he's been at the top. I mean, Ric Flair probably wrestling ability higher up the tree, but Hogan's the one that carried, the NWF on his back, and that ain't no easy feat. So, I'd like to get in the ring with Hogan. I think that'd be, a great match. Present, it's tough. It's going to be between McIntyre and Orton, probably Randy Orton. I'll probably lean to Randy Orton just because he's what I would call the most natural ever. The way that he picked up wrestling, and the start of his career, he probably wasn't that switched on to wrestling. Obviously, he got to WWE, and then I think it got to his head a little bit. Went down a bit of a wrong path. Thankfully, he's back now, and even I can't even tell you how old he is. I'm guessing late 30s, early 40s. Probably the best work of his career.
Definitely.
So
still performing at the top.
And he's been there 10, 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
So that's someone, again, like I say, I want to be in the ring with people that will better me and elevate me to somewhere higher than what I am now. And Randy Orton, if he can't do it, then I may as well give up.
Yeah.
No. Again, two quality answers there from Niall again. Again, I think you could learn from those guys. You have a great match with those guys. Sorry, Dal.
Sorry to interrupt you, Nate. But something else I wanted to just quickly discuss with Niall. Niall is something called the Soup Club.
So I was going to come on to this, Dal, as well, because obviously this isn't wrestling.
I just thought.
So this isn't wrestling related.
I talked to her about it.
The fans won't know about this. This isn't like to do with your in-ring wrestling. It's nothing to do with wrestling as in the ring, what the people see out there. This is what we call it like a little secret club you had backstage, shall we say? And everyone who's been around for a couple of years has heard of you guys. We know who the members are, but talk us. But yeah, like Dal says, talk to us about it. How did it come about, and who was in it?
Tell us all about it.
Actually, I was never in the Soup Club.
Ooh.
I actually knew that. Wow. I knew that. I knew he wasn't.
All right, Dave. You know everything.
When I first come in, I think the Soup Club was just about dying a death. I think it was Tom Lindsay, Casanova,
IQ3.
No, IQ3 wasn't in it either.
Was he not? Tomby, I think, was in it. I think Tomby was in the Soup Club.
No, he wasn't.
Tomby was definitely in the Soup Club because there's a picture of Tomby doing the soup pose with
George. And George.
George. Armstrong. George.
Armstrong.
Armstrong. That's it. Armstrong.
Yes, he was. Yes.
Yeah, I'm sure Tomby was in it because Tomby used to do the Soup Club logo.
Yeah, it was before. But that's a wasted question.
Well, I'm glad you corrected us on that, Niall.
But there is another little club that I'm sort of a part of, with similar members. You know, people that you've said there: Tom Lindsay, Casanova, and believe it or not, IQ3. There's 4 of us, so I can't remember who came up with it, but we call ourselves the Four Skins.
Wow.
Time when it first started, it was just 4 guys that got on, you know, within CPW. We like to have a laugh backstage. We got each other's humour.
Wait, what called?
The Four Skins.
4 Skins.
Wait, say it again. Oh, I wanted to see how many times I could get you to say 4 skins, but no, it's fine. Carry on.
I mean, in theory, it's Soup Club 2.0, but
But a better name, a much better
Next
name.
generation. Soup Club, the next generation.
So yeah, obviously, like I said earlier, Casanova was very welcoming to me when I first come into CPW. And anyone who knows Casanova knows that Tom Lindsay would come with him. So it was as simple as that. And then IQ3 got added into the mix a bit later. I think mainly because IQ3 came in training around, about a month or so before me. And we sort of bonded through, like say, that healthy competition. We both come to CPW for the one reason, that was to get to the top. And we both appreciated that we both wanted the same thing. We were both hungry to get it. So it just sort of happened. Like I say, it was nothing. It's not political. We're not trying to shit on anyone back. It's just about having a laugh, because wrestling is very serious at the time, especially when you're near the top of the card and there's a lot of pressure on you. And sometimes you just need to have a laugh, just to break that up a little bit. And that's what we did, really. We just were 4 idiots that have a laugh together.
I like it.
So, I mean, let's carry on with the Soup Club. I mean, and the stuff after you go back downstairs, like obviously you're in with the Soup Club, shall we say? Give us some dirt on this Soup Club, info on the Soup Club. What it entails, what the members entails, and what they would talk, what kind of stuff they're talking about.
Like I said, it was mainly about having a laugh. There was no maliciousness to anything about it. Obviously, Casanova and Tom Lindsay are doing whatever they're doing now. IQ3 floating around, he comes back and then he disappears, and hopefully he's back for good now. So, the Four Skins has been depleted within CPW for a good year now. It's just been me sort of flying the flag on my own.
Only skin left.
Yeah.
You are skinless.
Yeah, basically. And it would always seem to be whenever one of them would turn up, for some reason I wouldn't be at that show. It's just how it fall. But it's one of them. We're just friends, basically. IQ3 turned up a couple of weeks ago for a taping, and it was like, I've seen him for almost a year, but it didn't feel like that. It's just, that's how we are. There's no real dirt on it, really. Like I say, Casanova and Lindsay are, obviously Casanova's got his newborn son to look after, and Lindsay's being Tom Lindsay, like we all know that he is. So yeah.
So you didn't like shower together or fight in each other's mouths or anything like that? Nothing crazy went on?
No, I mean IQ3 did an absolutely bouting part once outside just before history, to the point where I was actually thinking about it in my match and trying not to laugh. Weird stuff. I don't. Well, I can't say. Maybe. Who knows?
You can say.
Well, maybe that's what you paid 10 grand for, Dale. Who knows?
Oh, you say we pay you 10 grand, you'll tell us all about it?
Possibly. I don't know. You like I say, cough up the 10 grand and you see what you get.
I'll be honest, mate.
Oh, there you go.
I ain't got 10 grand, so I'm happy being in the dark. You know what I mean? I'm fine with that.
So Niall, obviously, I think is it last year or maybe just before last year, you unfortunately took a break, had a bit of time away from CPW for whatever reasons, and then you had your big return, and you were facing Tom Lindsay. Tell me about it. Tell me about how much you wanted to get back in the ring, how you felt returning back to the ring, but also going up against someone like Tom Lindsay in that match.
Yeah, I'll come back in a special surprise for the elimination match, and that was a surprise to me. You know, like I say, I think I had around a year off. It's no secret, so I'll tell you. Basically, my wife gave birth to my daughter. We had an 18-month-old, and I was working 5 days a week, Monday to Friday. So it was nearly every Saturday I was going wrestling. The wife just sort of said, "Got to knock on the head for a little bit." So, unfortunately, I didn't want to do it, but sometimes you have to do these things. But I always knew in the back of my head I would come back to CPW. It was just a matter of when. And I think about 5 days before the elimination show, Mr. Richards messaged me and just said, "Do you want a spot?" And that was it. I was back. Like Rage was saying earlier, Aaron was saying, it's like a drug that you take, and then they come down so bad you have to take it again. I think Mr. Richards knew that. He knew that if he could get me back, even if it was just for a little cameo, that I'd be back. And yeah, here we are. So going back to CPW Galaxy, I'll keep going over questions, but again, it'd been a year. Obviously, I was keeping an eye on CPW. I was seeing how people were progressing, new people. I did wonder, are they even going to remember me? But I come out in front of that crowd, and straight away I got the reaction that I got before I left, if not bigger. So, like I said, I was back. Bit up and down leading into history. Obviously, I wanted Tom Lindsay. There was no secret about that. The way that I left CPW, basically, he left me laying in the ring, bashed me up a bit, so I wanted my revenge. Originally, it was just going to be me and Tom Lindsay at history, a bit of a revenge match. I finally even get my hands on him. And then I just looking, I got a notification on Facebook, and I see a match card come up. And it's me and Tom Lindsay and Kevin Isaac. It's a triple threat now for the CPW Heavyweight Championship. Obviously, an absolutely massive opportunity, which I never saw coming. So to me, it was like killing two birds with one stone. I got to bash Tom Lindsay up, and I could become CPW Heavyweight Champion, something that I've said to Phil from the get-go. That's what I want to do. So, it was almost, and at history, the biggest show of the year, it was like perfect. So going into that match, I'd already faced Tom Lindsay again, just out of the blue. I think it was Reload. Tom Lindsay was meant to face Damien Dunn in a Ironman match, and for whatever reason, Damien Dunn couldn't turn up. So I was there to do a seminar. And to just a side note, anyone that's listening, CPW roster, superstars, whatever, always bring your gear to a show, whether you're on the show or not.
Yes.
Correct.
I brought my gear. Mr. Richards looked at me while I was in the seminar and said, "No, you got your gear." I said, "Yeah." He went, "Good, you're in the main event tonight." And I think about 4 or 5 matches at that point. So I was gobsmacked. You talk about chemistry with people. I had chemistry with Tom Lindsay that night. Obviously, 2 different sides of the coin. I don't like the way that he went about things in CPW. I like to do things the right way, the fighting champion way that I am now. Somehow I beat him in the Ironman match. And then, like I say, he left me laying. I had a year off. I've come back. Now's the time at history. It's time for me to prove it, to prove what Mr. Richards was thinking from the get-go, you know, that he had someone here that could become a heavyweight champion. So, obviously, it was even now, it's probably the biggest match of my career because of the stakes. It's obviously CPW heavyweight championship. At the time, definitely, if not now, the most prestigious championship in CPW. Obviously, the Lineal's definitely up there now because of, you know, the reign that everyone's had with it and the clientele that have had that. But definitely at the time, this was before the Lineal Championship, it was the big gold title that everyone wanted. And we got in there, and for me, we had a great, you know, I'll say a great match. We had, you know, a good match. The score was settled. That was proven at the end. Tom Lindsay acknowledged me. You know, he gave me a little fist bump and got out the ring and let me have my moment. And the best thing about that was that my boy was in the crowd, so he got to watch his dad win the title, which, you know, not many people get to do. Another, obviously at the time when I said I wanted to become a wrestler, I didn't think that, you know, my son was going to watch me win titles. But once I had my son, I always thought, wouldn't it be great if he got to watch me do something big? And, you know, it's credit to CPW for giving me that opportunity and believing in me. You know, I was still only come back, I think it was 3 months. I was back. Before you knew it, I was CPW heavyweight champion. And just on a whim, you know, just an opportunity that presented itself out of nothing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I think
that must be an amazing feeling having your kid, like, you know, I mean, obviously all kids, like, you know, think their dad's Superman, but then when you actually get to see him be Superman, that's fucking amazing. You know what I mean?
That's it, yeah.
Lee's seen many of his kids watch him win belts.
Wow, exactly.
I'm joking, Lee. But you say that, Aaron, we can't hear you at all, mate. Sorry, you know you're talking.
Is his volume still turned off?
Is he
There's
talking?
something wrong with his microphone.
Okay, I raised my headphones. Right. Noel, can I just ask, because obviously I was in the elimination when you came back, and I got to admit, the crowd went wild when you came out. But I do remember you being in the ring when Jake Casanova come in and having a little dance as well in the ring. Do you remember that?
I do remember that, yeah. Yeah, I'm no stranger to dancing. I've done it before.
He's danced with many people.
Yeah, it was someone that just talked then that I've danced with as well. So
I've got to admit, you threw some shapes in that ring. I was impressed.
Well, you've got to, you know, like I say, if you want to be the best in CPW, it's not all just about wrestling.
No.
You've got to be a good dancer as well. So you've got to give your
Big
best
time.
moves. When you've got the opportunity to be in the CPW ring, whether it be dancing, wrestling, pie eating competition, whatever you want to throw at it, you've got to try and be the best and win. So
you're trying to challenge me now. You challenge me to a pie eating competition.
Yeah, why not?
There we go.
So, if you want to do it, let's do it.
Mate, I'm like Lardass out the movie, mate. Stand by me.
We'll see. I've got a big appetite. We'll see.
Well, you see how you can be a good dancer, Aaron. With your many years of tap, jazz, ballet, and modern, you're smashing it,
mate. You know, and I know you talk about like clubs. Me and Lee's got our own club as well. You know, we don't like to talk about it. Our after show clubs, where we go back to his house, put a bit of wham on, and hop into the hot tub.
What happened to that kebab once? Wasn't there a kebab incident?
We don't talk about it.
We won't go about that. Sorry, I'll come back to you, mate.
So Noel, you've been around quite a while, and obviously a lot of people talk about the backstage atmosphere at CPW, especially those who come outside of CPW who aren't homegrown talent. Always talk about how different the atmosphere is backstage. You know, it's a lot of fun backstage. It's really
warm and inviting,
atmosphere.
Nathan.
Huh?
Warm and inviting.
Yeah, warm and inviting, but it's very positive at backstage and stuff. What I want to know is, what's your give us a backstage story that you have, like I know, like funniest thing you've happened backstage, or like a memorable backstage incident that's happened that you either been involved in or you've seen. Like, what's one of the things that you've seen happen backstage that's absolutely kept with your mind?
The main one would probably be, I think it was not the history where I won the title. It was history before that. I'd only just started with CPW, and once again, it's Casanova and Lindsay, and it's Armstrong. Basically, we decided to have a football game with a bit of I think it was some of the ring tape. We'd rolled a ball, and someone had ripped a bit of tape off, became a ball, threw it at someone. Before you knew it, we're playing football. It's 2-on-2. It's me and Casanova versus Lindsay and Armstrong, and basically, me and Casanova absolutely wiped the floor of them to the point where Tom Lindsay's bottom lip had gone and he wouldn't talk to us for an hour. That was probably one of the funniest things. The fact that he was so upset about, because I think we beat them 6-1 or something. They just gave up in the end. Armstrong said he was scared whenever I ran at him with the ball, the tape ball. So I think Lindsay realised it was done, it was over. And yeah, he just didn't speak to us for an hour or so because he just got a mood on about it. If anyone knows Tom Lindsay, they know that's what he's like. So, but obviously, me and Casanova didn't just say, well, good game. We were just saying how great we were and how shit Tom Lindsay was, basically, just to wind him up even more.
Was that at the banquet suite?
It was, yeah.
In the small side room. I think I remember that happening. There'll be some crazy moments in that room.
So you're a competitive person then, when it's behind the scenes of CPW, would you say?
Definitely, yeah. I mean, if you spoke to my wife, she would tell you that I'm too competitive. I never let the boy win anything because, to be fair, my old man was the same. He said, until you're good enough to beat me, then you ain't beating me. So that's sort of the mantra that I live by. Obviously, every now and again, I'll let him slip one in, boost morale.
Yeah. So he asked you for a friendly game of snakes. He asked you for a friendly game of snakes and ladders, and you just destroy him, like bam.
Oh yeah, without doubt, yeah.
Is your dad as much of is your dad a big dude like you?
He's about 6 foot, but he's about 9 stone dripping wet. He's just dead skinny. Went through a phase where he tried to bulk up, but I think he just got fat because he didn't really know what he's doing, so he just stopped.
So with you saying that you're a very competitive person, Nathan, I think we're ready for the game.
I'm going to lose.
Look at the smile on Niall's face. He's been waiting for this to happen. He's been like, I've been waiting for the game all night. Let's get on with it. You know what? Us three are going to shut up. Me, Aaron and Lee. Dale's going to take control. And then hopefully we'll make it a bit more exciting and we'll flow through it.
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Is anyone talking? Yeah.
Right. So have we not heard of that? Have we not heard about this game, Niall?
I can't say I have, no.
Hello? Right, basically, it's a word association game.
Okay.
Right, it's a word association game. And basically what happens is you'll play against Lee, Nathan, and Aaron. You have, it's best out of 3. And, yeah, it's best out of 3. And basically, you say one of them says a word, you have to say something associated with it, and it just goes back and forth and back and forth until somebody either can't think of a word, hesitates. You can't hesitate. You can't say the same word twice. It's a lot of thinking about. So it's just what we're going to do. We're definitely going to go on with that, Nathan.
Yeah, we're going to carry on with the game, but just so obviously Niall knows, there is a leaderboard, obviously. One of your pre-rivalries is at the top of the leaderboard in the exceptional Sugar Jimmy Vice. So I know you're competitive. You want to beat him.
Definitely.
Who else is in the top 3?
Aaron?
Or you not?
I'm trying to. We've got. Is it not Cat Von Cage's number 3?
Yeah.
Capcom Cage is, I believe, second.
Right. You said. Right.
And then-
Okay.
Is it not Will Star after that?
I think Will Star's up there. Cat Von
Yes.
Cage. Jimmy
Oh,
Vice.
Jimmy Vice, not Lee.
Yeah, I know it's not me. So yeah.
Didn't Kiara do quite high?
Kiara's quite high. Yes.
Do you know what you've written down, Aaron?
Yes.
Aaron's not got them written down.
If
Excuse
you
me,
had them written down, you'd be able to tell us who the top 3 were.
I'm not in charge of this game no more. That's Dale's job.
You are.
All right. Anyway,
You're in charge of the leaderboard.
anyway,
Right.
Anyway.
Come on.
you can, if you beat everyone without losing a point and you beat all 3 of us, you'll go top with Jimmy Vice, okay? Because he's got maximum score.
Right, okay.
So, Dale, over to you. Let's get this game going.
Yeah, so you've got to win 2-0.
Let's just get this going, guys.
Right, so
Go.
Right, so here's what we'll do. So we're going to start. Niall will go first because Niall's our guest. As you know, so Niall always go first. We'll start with Nathan. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So Niall, you ready?
I think so.
Do you understand the rules, or do you have to explain them to you again?
No, I
Just in
think
case.
I understand them. Yeah, we'll see.
Word association. Yep. So okay, we'll go with it. Just in case. Anyway, right. So Nathan's going first. Sorry, look. Niall's going first. First is Nathan. Aaron, give us your word.
Brothers.
Son,
Daughter,
mother,
father,
father-in-law,
family.
I'm gone.
Oh,
no.
sorry, Niall, mate.
No,
Hesitation,
You
mate.
can't beat me.
Hesitation, mate.
You suck,
I'm
Niall.
afraid you-
Sorry.
Because this game is called You Suck. I'm afraid you do suck.
So,
You
Right,
suck.
let's go.
But it's not-
Next
but-
one.
But it's not over. It's not over, Niall. Not over. Got another go against Nathan. Okay. So Nathan will go first. Lee, give us your word.
towel,
Shower,
Sponge,
dry,
wet,
water,
cold,
Antarctica,
Lapland,
Santa,
Alps,
small,
big,
not Lee.
that's
Gay.
2 words.
Well, you can't say two
Oh,
words.
damn it. Damn it.
Ah, what are you doing?
You
Yeah,
just
see,
wanted-
you're playing silly beggars, Nathan. You suck.
Ah, you suck. You suck.
Nathan, you suck.
Right, now it's to the cider.
Just wanted to throw shade at Lee.
This
Bang
is
that
to the
water.
cider.
So Niall first then.
And
Okay.
Niall go first. So, here's the cider. Niall goes first. I'll give the word, and the word is engine.
rolls,
Cars,
wheels,
round,
circle,
square,
triangle,
Pythagoras,
obtuse,
bollocks.
Oh! You suck!
Suck.
You suck, Nathan!
Nathan went all
suck.
socky then, didn't he?
You see what you said? I want to play Nathan.
Mate, I was so happy. I was like, I got Pythagoras in there. It's gonna throw him off. No,
You
You
suck.
suck.
Well done, Niall.
that's 4 points, Niall. There, 4 points.
4 points on that one, so it's well done, Niall. Right, so next game, you're going to be facing Lee.
yeah,
Okay?
yeah,
Niall, you go first. Nathan, give us your word.
Okay. Helicopter,
Apache,
Flying,
wings,
air,
wind,
blowing.
sucking,
Oh,
knew I'd get him with that.
No way, Lee.
Lee always gets confused with good sucking. I'm joking.
Right, Lee,
you suck.
You suck.
You suck.
I'm too immature, man. He said sucking and I laughed. For fuck's sake, come on.
Right. Next.
Okay, next. Lee will go first. No, you ready?
Yep.
Aaron, give us your word.
Dog.
Cat.
Horse.
Riding.
Jumping.
Over.
Objects.
Oh, for fuck. I'm too
He's on 8 points. You suck there, Lee. Whitewash. You suck.
You suck.
Jimmy Vice is probably watching this.
2-0
Niall is
on that one, Niall. Well done. Good job on that one, mate.
If he beats Aaron here, he could go joint top of this.
He beats him 2-0. But he's got to beat him 2-0, though, isn't it? Yeah, 2-0.
He can beat him 2-1 if he wants.
Okay, as long as he wins.
Right. Hold on. VAR's in. VAR is in.
What's going on?
Wait a minute. What?
No, we have VAR, mate. Just so you know.
I hate VAR. Hate it.
We're going to VAR. While we're waiting VAR, Morris has said, "No, keep polishing that belt for me because I'll be taking it very soon." Just
right.
While we're waiting for VAR.
We'll get on to that in a minute, Niall.
Yeah, no worries.
That's Niall's response. Niall's like, "Oh, I'll focus on this game. It's more important."
Yeah, exactly.
Just try to trick you up there now because you're against me next.
It is, yeah.
VAR is still planning.
Oh, that they're rewinding it. They're zooming in. VAR's in. Lee, you are the father. No, I'm joking.
That ain't funny. That ain't funny.
VAR agrees with the official.
Ah!
So basically, Lee, you shit.
Yeah, I am.
You suck. Basically, you suck.
No, just so Jimmy Vice has just commented, he has got a good point here. If you do go and beat Aaron, you will have the maximum points, but you will probably be, unfortunately, in second place because he didn't lose a single point against anyone, whereas you did, unfortunately, lose against me on the one. But we'll have a VAR decision if it's joint leader or if you're in second place. We'll have VAR come in involved that one. But let's go on to the final round.
We'll get on to it then.
Hold on a minute.
We'll get on to this.
Hold on, Dale. Because this is an 80s game. Because this is an 80s game. I'm changing my headwear.
What?
I've got my 80s hat ready.
Oh my goodness! Right, okay. Right, you ready? Are you finished, Aaron? You ready?
Let's go for it.
No, you ready?
I'm ready.
Right. Now to go first. And Lee, give us your word.
Smoke.
Puff.
Pastry.
Ginsters.
Pies.
Greggs.
Rolls.
Batches.
Salad.
Chicken.
Drumsticks.
Legs.
Thighs.
Wings.
Breasts.
Nando's.
Kentucky Fried Chicken.
KFC.
Wait a minute! Wait a minute! I don't think so.
Wow, hang on.
You
VAR,
just said
we
two
need to get on this.
words.
We know it's more than one word, but we have said before that names sometimes count. So VAR, does Kentucky Fried Chicken count?
Kentucky Fried Chicken are two
Does it
words.
not? Yes,
That's about
but
three words.
we allow
KFC
names. We've had names before.
Right, there you go. Actually, yeah, sorry. Sorry, Lee, I apologise, mate.
VAR.
Right. Well, while we get VAR, I'm going in for a slash.
Well,
You
you're not
best
needing
go,
it
mate.
anymore, mate. You've asked your question.
To be fair, the dog's better off than you are, mate. Might win a point. Here we go, VAR. You do know it.
Sucks, it says Niall sucks. You got it. No, Aaron
Niall
wins.
sucks.
Ah.
Yes, it's the 80s hat.
Sorry, Niall. You suck on this occasion. Right, we can carry on. We don't need Lee.
No,
Okay, well, I thought Kentucky Fried Chicken would. But anyway, okay, VAR. We'll go with VAR. Okay, right. So 1-0 to Aaron. Aaron to go first. You ready, Niall?
Yeah.
Nathan, give us your word.
Okay. My word is rug.
Muncher.
Monster.
Munch.
Chris.
Yeah.
You can't say muncher and munch. That's
Two
the
different
same word, technically.
Well, no, it's not. It's not two different words. Muncher.
They mean the same. They
No, they
mean
Mean
the
the
same.
same thing.
No.
VAR,
please.
VAR.
VAR.
I think
I'm sorry,
munch-
mate. I'm not having that.
No, munch and muncher mean the same.
You
No.
can't say the same.
Monster Munch is a pack of crisps. Muncher is when you're munching something. Two
You
different
didn't
things.
say monster munch. You just said munch.
You just said munch.
You
You
just
just
Yeah,
said
he
monster
said
munch.
monster. He said monster, and I said munch.
Yeah,
I-
you said
I-
the word
I'm
munch. You just
I'm
meant
not
Aaron
having this.
sucks. VAR says Aaron sucks.
Aaron sucks. Thank
There
you.
go. Shut
Thank you
up.
very much.
You suck, Aaron.
You
I
suck,
know I was
Aaron.
right. You suck.
Right.
1-1.
So 1-1. This is the decider. Niall to go first. And my word is planes.
Trains.
Automobiles,
Cars.
motorbikes,
Bike.
push,
Pedal.
fast,
Slow.
quick,
Rapid.
speed.
Slow.
Have we not had slow?
I think we have.
We had
think
slow.
I don't think I've heard slow, so
I don't think I've heard it. That's what.
I don't believe
think
we've
I've
had
heard
slow,
it.
but then that would mean now hesitation from Aaron. So that means VAR. Does Aaron
Gee.
lose or does Niall lose for using the same word?
We've used VAR more in this
Right,
than any Premier game ever. Fucking hell.
Lee, calm down, mate. We know you're crap at the game, but it's not going to change things.
VAR says Niall sucks, unfortunately. So Aaron gets the victory 2-1.
Oh,
Unfortunately.
Good style one.
Jimmy Vice,
that
put
puts
the
you
check
on-
in the post again.
Yeah.
So that puts you on
again.
9 points,
No
though, Niall. No, 9 points. I think that takes you to around about, I think it's second or third.
It's gotta be
Aaron
in
will
there.
get the full confirmation when he does the leaderboard properly.
I think he's joint second with Cat Von Cage.
Yes.
Gotta
I
be.
think so too.
Not bad.
But what I want to know is because we haven't seen. Obviously, we got so excited because Niall was our mystery guest. We didn't see what the mystery guest would win. What the prize?
We have.
Oh,
we
yeah.
haven't seen the
We haven't
prize,
forgot the
Aaron.
prize. We forgot the prize.
Where's this prize?
Every week, Niall.
Where
Aaron
is
puts up
Niall's
a
prize?
photo. Every week, Niall, Aaron puts up a photo which you will get as prize if you beat the majority of the hosts, which you have done. So here is your prize. It's a photo.
Aaron,
It's normally an
talk
old
amongst yourselves for a
photo of
minute.
one of us. We always looking sexy. You never
Yeah.
know what the
I
photo's
can't,
gonna be.
I can't believe you've forgotten about this one. I mean, how could
This
you
one
get
was
this
actually-
prize?
This one was picked by a fan, actually. Wow. I put the pictures up and the fan says yes. So here we go, everybody. Here
Let's
it
see
is.
this prize.
There we go.
I want to see it. Let's do it. Oh,
Where is it? I can't see it.
Arsehole.
It's Lee.
yes.
Ah, yes.
Look at that photo of Lee.
Look at that. Isn't that beautiful, Niall?
It
No.
is, yeah.
That's-
Yeah.
It's my first ever Facebook profile picture.
That was before you just got broken by CPW, obviously.
Oh yeah.
Is that photo still taking the same flat you're in now?
No, that was the house. No, that was one of my student houses.
Okay.
It's got a full head of hair, like, what's going on?
Yeah.
So, no.
I have never lived here with hair.
Oh, well played tonight. Obviously, well played. You beat two of us. You lost to the best, which is Aaron
Which is
Alversol.
well. Unfortunately, VAR was involved in that
As we
one.
said, you're on 9 points. It puts you, we reckon, second, but Aaron's going to have to go through back all the old videos
Oh,
and
definitely, yeah.
create a proper leaderboard because he's forgotten to do so.
Look at that.
Look at that.
But
I know
what
you're
I
looking-
want
I know
to
you're
know
looking-
is
I know you're looking forward to that prize, Niall.
Oh, definitely.
Hey, guys, we're going to move on from this game now. We've done with the game. Well done, Niall, tonight. Well played.
Well done, mate.
We've got a new game,
Right.
and this is an interactive game. Okay.
Right.
And this is an interactive game for the fans and for you, Niall. It's
Okay.
a new segment / game. It's called Shooter. Okay.
Shooter.
What we want to do is anyone watching on YouTube, one by one, Aaron read them out as fast as he can. What we want you to do is we want the people watching us on YouTube to name a member of the roster, male, female wrestler. And Niall, when we read out the name, when Aaron reads out the name that's been commented, you have to describe them in one word.
Okay.
It's going to be quick fire. I'm not going to give you time to think on it. So, everyone watching on YouTube, I want you to start commenting wrestlers on the roster that you want Niall to describe in one word. And your time starts. I mean, I don't know why I'm saying time starts now. I ain't timing nothing here.
Who's timing it?
We're going to start now. So, comment.
Aaron, to you.
Well, I
So
mean, I'm
to
watching.
me.
Nothing's happened yet.
Aaron,
Waiting.
stop.
There we go.
Dan Evans.
Dan Evans. Sorry.
Brawler.
Little Susie.
Scary.
Jimmy Vice.
Come on. Quick fire.
Arsehole.
Let's go. Aaron, let's go.
Rye Dog.
Potential.
Dominic DeWinter.
Crafty.
Come on, guys, send me some more.
Ryan Conway.
All right, Nathan, give me a chance.
You're not fast enough. I
There's
read him
only
out
come on
fast
my
enough.
screen.
Come on.
It's just come on my screen. Chill out, you egghead.
Come on,
Ryan
let's go,
Conway.
let's go.
Ryan Conway.
Rookie.
Shannon the Cannon.
Talent.
Carrie.
Exceptional.
Morris.
Loser.
Emma Cross.
Whoa.
Destructive.
Shorty.
Future.
Mr. Richards.
Legend.
Taco.
Sensation.
Alex Connors.
GM.
Cat Von Cage.
Epic.
Triple M.
History.
Will Starr.
Hero.
Drake Winter.
Beaten.
Kiara.
Talent.
Bashby.
Said it before. Can I say it again? Future.
Kushkan. Fifi.
But you've said talent twice, so.
Oh,
Beef.
boy.
Go on, Aaron.
VAR.
Fifi.
Past.
Cleo.
Present.
Russell Hardwood.
Forgotten.
Nathan's just joining in.
Wow.
Pardon, Nathan. There we go. If there are any more coming through, that's
Is that it?
Well, I can't see no more. That's it.
Is that it?
Slowed down. Nathan threw the last couple of in. Oh, here we go. Tomby.
Goth.
Any more?
Any more? Any?
Is that
you
it?
guys- yeah.
Next.
That seems to be. We'll slow down. That's it.
Is that it?
I'm waiting. Oh, Rage.
Rage. Anger.
Casey Wilde.
Rave.
Well, it says Lee, so I'm going for Leighton Sims.
Hairless.
Yeah.
Marcel.
Arthur. Past.
John Foley.
Oh, I know.
Oh,
Joker. Joker.
Dale.
Gaffer.
Giant D.
Giant.
CPW Prison.
Brutal.
I think we've slowed down now.
I didn't know CPW Prison was a part of the roster.
No.
A lot of people, man. So yeah.
That is part of the roster, Dale. It makes itself.
Oh. Wow, that was Shooter. Oh
Right.
no, that was Shooter.
We got any more?
Rudolph Windsor.
Don't-
No, I just threw that one in there, Dale. Sorry. Noel Fairchild versus Jimmy Vice.
Combustible.
That's on Country Pro Wrestling.
Good work, good work, good
There
work.
you go.
I like that. That's
Right.
quite interesting. I like Shooter.
Nice.
Yeah.
Bit of fun.
Listen,
that in between now.
I think before we go, now obviously before the game, we had a little bit of interruption in the game. You had Morris went on there and saved you a comment, Niall. So would you like to reply to that comment?
Yeah, I mean, I can reread it if you'd like to.
Go on,
Absolutely,
yeah.
get on.
It says, Niall, keep polishing that belt for me because I'll be taking it very soon. NBK.
Well, yeah, I mean, he signed it off with MBK, so he's obviously not man enough to face me without his woman at his side, which is typical Morris at the moment. Like I said before, I don't like his attitude. I think he's got all the potential in the world. He could well beat me for that title if he puts his mind to it. But I think he's too busy kissing his girlfriend to be on his top game, to be honest. Nobody wants to see that, Morris. Nobody wants to see it, Emma. Cut it out. I understand you're young. We all did it when we were younger, but normally we stick to nightclubs when we do that kind of shit. We don't do it in the middle of a wrestling ring. It's called a wrestling ring, not a kissing ring, a wrestling ring. We wrestle in the ring, not kiss. So no more of that shit. No one wants to see it.
And I mean,
Morris,
that's
you
a
thought a very good game for someone that has failed with multiple title shots. Like I say,
Ooh.
get your head screwed on. Bring the Morris that I once remembered. The Machine. Not Emma Cross. Morris the Machine. The guy who used to turn up to training week in, week out and put his everything in. Not worry about what his girlfriend was doing. Or his girlfriend worrying about if he's talking to Shorty or not. Or if he's kissing her enough in the ring.
Yeah.
Bring Morris. The man that we all remember. Not MBK. The MBO.
I mean, I think
Get it on.
I think I speak for myself, the rest of the other lads in the whole galaxy. That's a match we all want to see. It'll be
Yes.
That'll be a big match, definitely.
Absolutely. Can't argue with that, Lee. Right?
I mean,
well, it's we've got messages already. Shannon the Cannon says NBK would be nothing if they didn't have accompanied by each other. So basically, they're saying if they didn't have each other, there'd be nothing. Morris has come back and just said jealousy.
I mean, this rolls onto a question earlier then from Shannon. Now,
Yeah.
what's wrong about MBK? And you say, Shannon says they wouldn't be anything without one another. She asked the question earlier, if you could pick one mixed tag match, say for example, you're going against Morris and Emma Cross, for example, but if any mixed tag match, who would be your chosen, any female of choice, who would be your chosen tag partner in a mixed tag match?
Well, if it was against the MBK, it would definitely be Shorty because the history's there already. I think Emma Cross has got a couple of doubts about Shorty and Morris. I think there's a little bit of a wedge there, and I'll definitely use that to my advantage. If we're talking overall, it's tough. You know, you go with the OG, which is Lizzie Styles, or another OG, which I haven't mentioned, and I'm sorry if you're listening, Natalie Wilde, another, Mount Rushmore, she's definitely up there.
So when you say, obviously Shorty's put that wedge in there, is that you trying to say that maybe Morris's eyes are wandering from the Cross?
Possibly, or is it that Cross is too insecure? And she thinks that's happening and nothing is happening. Who am I to say? I don't know. All I'm going to say is I'm going to use it to my advantage.
You've just got the lighter and the fuse in your hand, haven't you, mate?
I'm just going to stir this big pot.
Yeah, mate, that's exactly it. Stir that motherfucker up, yeah.
You keep doing it now. You keep doing
Oh,
it,
Fairchild is the spoon, and this is the big pot.
Like I said earlier, Morris, bring your best. Don't bring MBK. We don't want to see you kissing. I don't want you to worry about what Emma Cross is doing on the outside. I don't want to have all these doubts in the head. I want you clear-minded so that when we get into the match, when we're in that ring, just me and you, you're at your best. But I don't want this weakened version of Morris that I'm seeing at the moment.
Like it.
If you beat this version of Morris as it is at the moment, would you be disappointed? Would you think that you're taking on the Morris that isn't at the top of his game? Is that basically what you're saying?
It depends what attitude he brings, basically. I don't like the attitude that he's got at the moment. Simple as that. If he goes back to the competitive Morris that I once knew, the guy that main evented last year's Xmas Bash against World Star and took him to the very limit, that's who I want to face. Yeah. Simple as that. If he's got his head wrapped around Emma Cross, I don't want to know.
No, I completely agree with you. No, like you say, like you always want to face the best and face everyone at their best game to push you to your limits, but also to know that when you've come out with a W, you've earned it. So I can appreciate that. So obviously we probably don't have much long left of this beautiful interview with our mystery guest who was Niall Fairchild. But we've been playing some games. We've been away from YouTube for a while. So Aaron, quickly, before we go on to our final segment of the night later on in a minute, catch us up what's been happening on YouTube. Any other questions? What's been talked about? Let us know. Let's go.
So let's throw some questions. Cod Pro Wrestling wants to know, does Niall now see himself as a legit main event talent?
Very good question again. CPW asking the questions we all want answers to. I'm definitely getting there. Like I say, I've said it time and time again throughout the night. I'm not the full package yet. I'm not at the very top. I'm aiming to get there. I believe I will get there. I think I held my own at the Xmas Bash. I got that experience. It was my first main event. It was followed quickly the week after with Revenge, where I got the win with Will Star. We're getting there. 2021, it's going to be a big year for Niall Fairchild. It's as simple as that. 2020 looked like it was going down the drain with everything that was going on. And like I say, it's a credit to CPW that we're still producing content. We've got it out there. And like I said, I've got a lot of matches and experience that I wouldn't have got normally in 2020. So I feel like I've actually got about 2 years of experience out of one. So if there's ever a time, it's now. I've said to Mr. Richards, I've said, to Phil, I've said CPW, I want them spots. I've said it from day one. And I'm willing to step up, put my neck on the line and see what happens.
Right. Okay.
Okay. The exceptional Sugar Jimmy Vice has said, now you probably can answer this one for us. The exceptional one made Fairchild. Is he saying you're your dad?
What?
Made. Oh, made. Yeah.
Made Fairchild.
I know he's old looking, but I don't think he's that old.
Well, you never know, mate. You never know.
So, if anything,
could have a good makeup artist. I don't know.
Did he make you the wrestler you are? I think he's trying to say.
Oh, if anything, I think it's the other way around. Jimmy Vice was very calculated the way that he went about business. The end of 2019, start of 2020. He decided that he wasn't going to face me for the CPW Heavyweight Championship. He was going to wait until I dropped it, unfortunately, to Mr. Ace. And he took that opportunity and immediately took it off Mr. Ace. At the Xmas Bash, we finally got a one-on-one chance. He realised I was going to beat him, so he hit me with the bout and got the DQ and kept the bout. Nothing exceptional about Jimmy Vice at all. Standard.
Oh, yes.
Wait, speaking about hot tag, how did you feel when Mr. Ace just, shot in, all shady, and like just took the title? How did that feel? Because he was just sneaking around on the outside for that whole match, yeah, like some shady little motherfucker. How did you feel when he just popped in there and just took it?
Yeah, I was obviously devastated. The biggest problem for me was that I didn't get pinned for it. Simple as that. So in my eyes, I never actually lost it. That's what annoyed me the most. And then obviously immediately Jimmy Vice took that title from Mr. Ace before I even got a chance to have a rematch. And then he did his very best to keep it away from me. Eventually I chucked him out of elimination, got to the final two, but unfortunately a certain Cleo got the better of me. And sometimes in wrestling you have to accept that. It's the same at the Xmas Bash. I lost. I didn't like the way that I lost. I think, if you go back and watch the footage, I probably should have won that match. But at the end of the day, it goes down as a loss. And I have to accept that, because if I don't, then I'm just going to be spinning my wheels like Jimmy Vice, making slanderous claims that I've made someone.
Well, that could probably lead on to my last question. If I just have a look, make sure none of us come in. Jimmy Vice is proper going for you, mate. I will, if you want to hear them, I can do that.
Yeah, let's do it.
Do it.
Let's get this one here first. 1 second. I'm just going to go back up because I've just lost it now. COD Pro Wrestling wants to know, will Noel ever end the sugar once and for all?
Wow. I think I ended him a couple of weeks ago on Next Gen Wrestling. We had a one-on-one match. He even had his little buddy, Dominic De Winter, in his corner, doing his best to try and distract me, and I still beat him. Not only did I beat Jimmy Vice, I beat Dominic De Winter at his own game. So if Jimmy Vice can't beat me with Dominic De Winter in his corner, who, if you listen to him, is the greatest thing since sliced bread, but he's yet to prove it, as Lee will tell you. He's a tag team champ. De Winter saying that they were going to win them. Who's got the gold?
That's it, brother. That's it.
And the same applies for me. Jimmy Vice. I gave Jimmy Vice a chance. He wasn't number one contender. I let him have a title match against me a week before I faced Cleo at the Xmas Bash. And what happened? He lost. Simple as. I've ended the sugar. Jimmy Vice is doing what he always does, just talking about me on social media, behind his keyboard, where he knows he's nice and safe. And it's as simple as that.
Obviously, Jimmy Vice answered to COD Pro Wrestling's question there with, at COD Pro Wrestling, Fairchild nor his precious Galaxy have what it takes to make me sugar-free.
Wow.
That's a good answer.
Well, all I'll say to that then, Mr. Vice, is watch your blood sugar, because you'll be getting diabetes soon.
So,
wow.
Sugar Jimmy Vice said, I can only beat the person put in front of me. Mr. Ace ran his mouth like you. You fell into my bout because I ran your legs out of you with my exceptional pace. That's one. Then we've got from Jimmy Vice, I never got pinned for the bout either, pal. And last one, then I'll do the last one, then you can answer what you want to say to him. Stick to engineering planes, mate, because you can't fly with the exceptional one. There you go.
Wow.
Once again, Jimmy Vice is talking all this shit, quite frankly. And, let's go back 3 weeks ago. I beat him. Simple as that. I don't know what point he's trying to make. I flew with Jimmy Vice 3 weeks ago. I stamped him off as scrap. Unserviceable. He's not serviceable to have that New Blood Heavyweight Championship. I've still got it. Put the big rubber stamp on him. Finished him. Gave him natural selection. Dominic De Winter came in, tried to scoop him up and roll him out of the ring. Dominic De Winter shit his pants as always. I told De Winter, I said, let's go for it. I put the title on the floor. I said, me and you, let's go for it. After look, I can knock Jimmy Vice all I want. At the end of the day, Jimmy Vice is a very good competitor. You don't become CPW heavyweight champion without being good. It's as simple as that. But I don't like the way he goes about things. I don't like the way he's constantly coming after me. I thought we'd settled this 3-4 weeks ago, but if he wants to go again, let's go again. Let's see if I can make you sugar-free. Let's see if you will keep your sugar, keep your diabetes, mate. I don't give a shit. At the end of the day, I'm going to keep the New Blood Heavyweight Championship. And to be honest, it sounds like Morris wants a slice before you. So maybe you two should have a match before you even think about facing me. As far as I'm aware, neither of you are number one contender. You both just come on here talking mad shit. Prove it. I'm number one contender.
Oh, yeah. You tell him, man.
I can feel it calling in the air tonight. I just got that song in my head when you were saying that, man.
Wow.
Right.
Well, what we got, Aaron? Come on. Let's go.
Last question. Cov Pro
Not
Wrestling.
Jimmy Vice, is it?
No. Cov Pro Wrestling said there was a notorious training match Niall had recently with Will Starr, and it was a real tense affair. How did Niall feel about the testing 15 minutes?
Firstly, it was an honour because obviously, as I've said before, Will is the man that trained me. So to get to be in there with Will is an absolute pleasure and honour. Obviously, on the side of that, I wanted to show Will, what he taught me and what I'd learned from other wrestlers. It was a tense affair, because as you've seen, I am very competitive. Like I say, I wanted to win. I wanted to show Will what I'm all about. Like I say, Will, he's definitely, like I said, he's on my Mount Rushmore 1 and 2 with Mr. Richards. It doesn't get much higher, that bar. Will's one of the best talents in not just in CPW, in the UK. It's as simple as that. His technical ability is unreal. Whenever I've been to training, he always bamboodles me with some sort of technical hold or sequence, which I've never seen before, and it just amazes me. Obviously, that's Will's game. Obviously, my game is more power. I like to show my technical when I can, and obviously I had to show it against Will. To me, it was like the ultimate test of how far Niall Fairchild had come. The only disappointment for me was the fact that fans didn't get to see it. A bit like when Will called out Mr. Richards, I was hoping that I'd beat Cleo in the Axeman tournament and I got to have that match with Will. Because as I've said time and time again on this show tonight, you only get better by facing the best. And Will is one of the best, if not the best in CPW right now. And the only way I'm going to get sharper is by facing the sharpest knife in the drawer. Simple as that.
Wow.
Wow, there you go.
I literally got goosebumps then.
I think he wants a piece of Will Starr.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like to me.
Tonight.
I just think, like you're saying, to be at the top of the mountain, you've got to beat the people on the way, the Will Stars, the Mr. Richards, and he's got his sights set to the top of that mountain, and he'll beat whoever stands in his way. That's what I'm seeing, and
that's what I'm hearing.
To him, man. Fair play to him.
That's it.
That's
I'm not saying that I'm going to beat everyone because I can't. I lost Cleo at the Xmas Bash, but I learned a lot from that loss, and that's what it is to me. Whether I win or lose, I'm going to learn something, and I'm going to come back stronger every single time. Just like the CPW Galaxies behind me, they get stronger every single time. And that's what I plan to do. I may not, Will may be out my league for all I know, but I will learn something from that. If it just means that I've got to train harder because I'm not up to that standard, then I will. If it shows me that I'm almost at that standard, then I'll keep fighting. If I somehow win, then it's just another accolade in my career. It doesn't mean that I'm the polished article at all. It doesn't mean that I'm all of a sudden the man. The man is the guy that holds the lineal championship for 530, 40, whatever days it was, who takes on anyone that's coming, like Cleo's doing now. He's defending that title whenever anyone steps up. He's held that title for, 140, 150 days now. He's making his own legacy. That's how you become the man in CPW. You hold that top title, and the only way you get that top title is by beating the top guys. And that's what I want to do. I want to at least put my name in that circle. You know, that is it around 10 people, including Dale, that can fight for that lineal championship. I can't fight for lineal championship at the moment. The only way that I can do that is by producing a body of work that is deemed worthy of competing for that championship. And like I said, the way I do that, Dan Evans, Cleo, Will Star, you know, the highest caliber CPW has to offer, I have to go against them. I have to compete. I have to show them. I have to show myself. And I have to show the CPW Galaxy what Niall Fairchild's all about. And in 2021, that's what I plan to do.
Wow.
Tell you what, I've just everything you've said tonight, my friend. Awesome.
Let's talk about this, guys. Like all night. Fair play, Will. Fair play, Niall. I'm so confused. But you've just been shooting tonight. You know, you hold no bars tonight, shall we say? You know, Jimmy Vice, Drake Winter, Morris, Will. You know, like you say, you're fighting words. You know, you're shooting at everyone who's coming at you. You know, you take on anyone. You know, if I was Jimmy Vice, if I was Drake, if I was Morris, you know, I would be slightly concerned about facing this new style of Niall. You know, Niall. You know, you're sounding hot at the moment, as in like, you know, you're ready to go, you're ready to fight. You know, these matches that are going to be coming out of this. You know, you versus Jimmy, you versus Drake, you versus Morris, you versus Will. Like, there's going to be some big impact matches. You know, they're going to be on fire. You know, you're calling them out. They're calling you out. You're giving it back. You know, so fair play, man. Like you say, you know,
that's it.
Like you say, the lineal championship. You know, it is the top belt. You know, everyone wants to come for the top guy. You know, and obviously to come for the top guy, you've got to qualify and be in that select group. And to do that, you've got to win certain titles. You've got to obviously get in the Hall of Fame. You've got to do something memorable at CPW to qualify. You know, it's hard to qualify for it. And like you say, your plan is 2021 to step up, get your name in that pile of names so you can go for that lineal championship. Because end of the day, like if you want to be number one guy, if you want to be the top dog, you know, you've got to take that belt from that person who is the lineal champion. And you know, whoever's got that title for a reason. You know, they've worked hard for it, they've grafted for it. You know, Will said, you know, last week, it's carrying a legacy. You know, whoever's holding that title is carrying Mr. Richards' legacy, is carrying Will Starr's legacy. Whoever takes it next, we're carrying the legacy of Cleo, Fifi, Hardwood. You know, there's a lot more to that belt than just winning matches and you know, going out there and putting on a show. You know, that belt has history, that belt has a meaning, and you know, you want to come for it, you've got to earn it, and then you've got to step up to the plate, and that's the true fact. You know, those who have been in that position know, like, you got to step up or step up or just shut up. And like I say, can't speak any truer words from you there, Niall, about, you know, the belief, having the belief in yourself to be able to be that top dog and go for that title. Because like I say earlier, if you don't want to be lineal champion, why are you doing it? Why are you in CPW? If you're not bothered about getting that lineal belt at one point in your career, why are you still going out there and putting on a show every week? If you know, so I completely agree with you. You know, it's all about what can people do in the men's division and the women's division to get those lineal titles and become a contender for that lineal title.
Exactly. Yeah.
I think Cough Pro Wrestling has summed up in just these words of what Niall said, is the words of Niall gets it. And
That's high praise.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But I also want to put it out there, you know, it's not just for me. Obviously, I've got my aspirations in CPW, but my bigger aspirations are, you know, for the CPW Galaxy. You know, what do they want to see? Do they want to see me against Dan Evans? Do they want to see me against Will Starr? You know, are they matches that they want to see? You know, as simple as that. You know, I can say I want to be lineal champion all I want, but at the end of the day, I've got to prove that I can do it. But I want the Galaxy to want these matches. You know, I want them to be big. I don't want it just to be, oh, well, Niall says he wants this, so he's going to get it. No, I want it to be that the Galaxy wants it. They want to see me and Will Starr go at it. They want to see me and Dan Evans go at it. Me, you know, even like Tomby. I haven't even mentioned Tomby. Tomby is on top of his game at the moment. Unbelievable. I don't know what's happening with him after what happened.
He's disappeared.
You know, if
No
you
one
know,
knows.
Like, if he ever comes back whenever he wants to, or if he can, I don't know where the hell he is.
Stanley Krem, I see.
You know, the legacy is there for these types of people, and for me to create my own legacy, I have to go against them. And I want the CPW Galaxy to enjoy, to look forward to these matches, to them to be big matches. I always look at the elimination when I returned, and it was Mr. Richards versus Will Starr.
Mm-hmm.
And they had like a Rock and Hogan moment where they both got into that prison, and they just stood there for about 30 seconds, just looked at each other, didn't do anything, just looked at each other. And the crowd, I've never heard the crowd that loud before, you know, the Galaxy that loud, in anticipation for what was going to go down. To me, that's the goal. You know, I could become lineal champion, but if no one gives a shit, then what's the point? You've got to get the people, you know, I've got to get the Galaxy involved. Yeah. To me, I think the Galaxy are, you know, they're behind me, definitely. But I've still got to step it up. I've got to get even more interaction. So I'm not going to stop. I want to become a better wrestler. I want to become more involved in the CPW Galaxy. I just want to become better overall. And CPW, I want it to be global. You know, we're just starting to make our roots known in America. Would you say we've got someone in India watching right now?
Yep.
So, you know, we're branching out on the globe. To me, CPW at the moment, it's Coventry Pro Wrestling. I want it to become a global promotion, not just Coventry, not just the UK. To me, that's too small. We need to get global. And the only way we do that is by putting on the best matches we possibly can. And I want to be at the forefront of them.
Wow, there you go.
You said America. Now, obviously, no, for people that didn't know, you got a lovely message, actually, didn't you, the other day?
I did indeed, yeah.
Do you want to tell everyone else listening the message?
Yeah, just give me 1 second. I'll just double check. I don't want to get his name wrong, just in case he's watching. So, it's from Colin Adams from America. And what he come to me very simple, which is what I like, as you know, I'm pretty straight up and open. It just says, "I'm your biggest fan." You know, that just comes as a massive shock to me. Obviously, I've seen a friend request, I accepted it. I've seen he had a couple of mutual friends, so I thought, well, he must be into wrestling or CPW. For him to say he's my biggest fan, and I looked and it said American, and I thought, maybe he's just over there for the time being. It's picked up on that. I said, all the way from America. And he comes straight back and he said, yeah. He said, you won't believe, you know, I'm your biggest fan, honestly. Can I get your autograph? Can I get anything, you know, possible? Wow. T-shirt, 8x10, whatever. And, you know, that's, to me, that is just mind-blowing. To think, you know, you're here. You know, Phil has said to us before that, you know, there's people in America buying this pay-per-view or this show. And, you know, you sort of, you take it in. Obviously, it's big, but you don't really think about it because you're going out there and you perform and you're putting on the show. But it's when you get messages like that from people in America and you realise that, you know, you're making that impact. That, to me, that's just mind-blowing. When when I first come into Coventry Pro Wrestling, I just thought about Coventry. And like I say, now we're getting our roots out there, different countries. And that's, you know, even to be in West Midlands, I'd be mind blown. But to be, you know, 5,000 miles across the sea in America, unbelievable. And that's, you know, this is where all this speech is coming from me, that I want it to be global. Because now I've got that taste of that. Like you said before, it's that drug of wrestling. Now I've got the drug of, you know, building this brand. And if I can help do that, that's my legacy. Simple as that.
What you don't know actually, Niall, is Lee also gets fans message him as well from places like Thailand and that, and they like to see pictures of his feet because they're massive Lord of the Rings fans and they want to know if he's a real life hobbit.
Cheers, mate.
I wondered where you were going with that when you said you get the messages. I was wondering, what kind of message.
It's probably one of the best things he could have said, in fairness, yeah.
But I mean, you're right though, Noel, like saying you getting that message directly and stuff like means a lot to not just you, but to everyone involved. Like, obviously, it means a lot to you because it's personally messaged you to say, I'm a massive fan of yours. You're obviously doing the right things. You're doing the right stuff to obviously have people invested in you and obviously to enjoy what you're doing. But again, it's a big credit to the company, the man in charge, everyone else involved on being able to get these audience members from all around the world. But especially yourself, like I say, especially to yourself, to have someone who doesn't know you, who isn't from the UK, to come onto your direct messages and say, hey, I'm a massive fan. I've been watching you through the streams, through the live shows, the tapings. I'm loving what you're doing. Like, that's a big thing. You expect a message like that from one of the local fans, one of the regular fans who watch every week in and week out the live shows online, because they're there, they see you. But you don't expect those messages from someone in America, to come out of nowhere and be like, oh, I'm a massive fan of you. I'm living in America, but I watch you every week or every month when you put on a show, etc. Like, that's a massive credit to you for getting those messages. So, all respect to you, fair play, well done, congratulations, that stuff. It's a massive, massive credit to yourself and what you're doing at the moment.
For sure, yeah,
absolutely, 100%.
Sorry, just to add to that, like you say, maybe massive credit to myself, but I don't see it that way. I see it, it's a group effort. Like Dale messaged me and said, wow, you've gone global. And I just replied and said, no, we've gone global. Because, it's not just me out there. It's whoever I've fought in the past. So even though I hate to say it, Jimmy Vice, Cleo, Alex Connors, Rage, all these guys that I've fought, they've, built me up to this position that I'm in. And like I say, you've got the biggest credit of all goes to the CPW staff that have somehow got ahead of the game, got the pay-per-view system working. And like, Mr. Richard alluded to it at the Xmas Bash. He said, no one else is doing it. You're complaining about it. You could have done it. You haven't, so shut up. It's as simple as that. Phil started, we're going to do it. We're going to get it rolling. We had a couple of teething issues to start with. He got round them. He's figured it out. And now, we're cooking on gas. We're one of the only companies in the UK that can do it. Like I say, everyone's bitching and complaining about it. Phil's gone out there and done it. It could have been easy for Phil to just hide and say, that's it. We ain't coming back till 2021. And if we'd have done that, I don't know if we'd be here talking now, because the way that the country's going, we ain't no farther forward. So to have that initiative to think, wow, what can I do? I'm going to start recording tapings. They're not good enough. What can I do now? I can do live pay-per-views. Right now, I can do them. Now I can do commentary. None of us are commentators, but you've got like Naomi, you've got Lee yourself, you've got Mr. Richards, putting ourselves out there for the entertainment of CPW Galaxy. And again, that's why the CPW Galaxy, I think, are the best fans in the world, because they appreciate what we do for them.
Yeah, agreed. Can't
argue with that, mate.
They are, someone like myself who's wrestled at other places, there's no other fans like them. Everyone we've had on the show who come from outside of CPW say there's no other fans like it. And it's proof, like you say, Noel, it's proof in, the investment they show on the Galaxy page, the messages you get directly, the numbers of people watching the pay-per-views, the tapings, and stuff like that. You know, there are no other fans in the world like our fans, and that's down to, like you say, the staff, the boys and girls that put their bodies on the line, and it's down to the fans themselves. You know, they just love what they get to see each week, and they enjoy seeing it every week and want to just see more and more and more. And we all know the true facts. If the boss man himself could put a show on every day of the week, he would.
Yeah,
Absolutely, 100%. 100%.
If the show could happen every day and everyone could actually wrestle every day without needing a wheelchair or something or needing medical attention, he'd put a show on every day. And that's a fact. He always says, without the fans, there is no wrestling. The fans come first, which is everyone agrees with. It's all about the fans, and we do this for them every day, every week. You know, training, putting on the shows, just so we can go out there and entertain them and give them enjoyment. So yeah, I completely agree with you, Niall, on those points. So we haven't got long left, guys. Aaron, anything left on the YouTube? Anything happening on YouTube?
No, just a bit of talking. Obviously, AA says go to sleep, people. It's Monday tomorrow. COD Pro Wrestling come back with it's lockdown AA days. Days don't matter no more. Boris way. So we're basically at the moment we're going to Boris. We're having a go at Boris. Every day is now official Boris Day. I won't tell you. Oh, fuck it. I'll call Boris. I said fuck you, Boris. Really, you know. So sorry, Del. I know he's one of your heroes and all that.
Right.
So
you must be dreaming, mate.
Yeah. Richard Warwood says Boris has grounded us more than our parents did. I like that. I do like that.
Yes.
So yeah,
just putting it there. If there's one match I could book right now in CPW, it'd be Mr. Richard versus Boris Johnson and the prison match.
Yeah.
Because I think they need to sort out.
No, and hanging from the ceiling is the keys to number 10.
Yeah.
Yes.
Fuck me.
So basically a ladder prison match.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever it takes for Mr. Richards and for Boris to sort out what they need, because, like I say, there's definitely some issues that need sorting there.
Absolutely.
Wrestling says money match.
Money,
Boris,
that's right.
If you're watching this, because I know, Boris, you've got eyes everywhere and you're probably listening to what we're doing to see if we're breaking your shit rules. Yeah?
Yes.
Get on the phone to CPW, yeah, and Mr. Richards will be in that ring waiting for you, and he's going to knock that bad hairstyle off your head.
So, like I said, no, we haven't got much longer left, but I want to go back to something we were talking about earlier, which obviously we're talking about. You had the amazing training match with Will, 15 minutes doing a match with Will at training, which, like you say, it was amazing for you to learn from. Obviously, you've talked about already, you know, you came in day one to the performance center, and obviously you've always been trained by Will Starr. What I want to get into now is a bit about the training. The training you've gone through, obviously how much you've learned from, you know, sort of, you know, training from Will, the influences he's put onto you, how he helped you to develop who Niall is now and stuff. Like, I want to talk about the training side of things for you. So, you know, the actual training you've had from Will.
Yeah, I mean, to start with, anyone that's been to one of Will's sessions will know about the warm-ups. You know,
They will.
They're tough, you know. But that, like I say, when I walked into Performance Centre, that's what I was expecting. I was expecting for 3 months of just like basically body weight squats until you're on the floor, then you leave after you've swept up everywhere and put everything away. Then after 3 months, you might get in the ring. But, you know, with Will, you know, he's just a great guy. Obviously, he works you very hard. but he takes into account who's at those training sessions. So if it's an elite session, then it's no mercy. You know, you're getting beasted in that warm up, no doubt. And then whatever he's got planned for that session is going to be hard. It's going to challenge you. And if it's too easy, then there's something wrong, basically. Well, it's never going to give you anything that's easy in an elite session, not a chance. You know, but that's what you want. You know, if we just turn up to go through the motions, and again, what's the point? So, you know, Will, it's massive credit to Will, because he's got to figure out every week the standard of, you know, the lessons that he's, you know, we've got superstars, we've got like the intermediates, you say, that have come out of superstars and now getting ready for that main roster. Then you've got your elites that are on shows already and have been training for quite a while, so got some experience. So, you know, Will works a full-time job as well, as I'm sure he told you last week. Yeah. So, you know, around that time, he's got to figure out what he's, you know, what he's planning. And like I say, when I first started, I can remember the most vivid memory, and I told Will about this a long time ago. He just laughed, you know, what Will does, because that's what he's like. Just laughs at your pain. But we did the warm-up, which, you know, was hard, obviously. You know, it's normally about 30 to 40 minutes. A lot of running, a lot of squats. You know, press ups, couple of drills.
Side steps.
Yeah, the side steps are the worst. I shouldn't have said that, because now he's going to make me do them. But
you know it as well.
Yeah. Hey, that kills everyone off. When you start doing the side steps around the ring, mate, we all agree that's the killer part. Yeah, he'll do more of them. It's fine.
It made me, obviously, I'd never been in a ring before. I wasn't bumping at the time. Literally my first lesson, he just made me lock up with everyone that was there. There's about 10 people there. And for anyone that's never been, you know, involved in wrestling or been to a training session, you don't understand how much effort it takes even to do a lock-up. Because it's not like you literally you throw your arms and then that's it. It's you lock up and then you're grappling for position. And I had to do that 10 times for everyone. And I almost thought, like, what the hell am I doing here? I'm like, I was completely blown up, gasped, at the point of being sick. I was like, I've just locked up. That's all I've done. Like, how the hell am I ever going to get through a match? And it just, like I say, the main thing that I always go off is respect. And Will demands respect in that way, because you've got no other choice. And you respect everyone around you, because they're all going through that same pain. And that, you know, you can come off a 12-hour night shift, you're knackered, but you turn up and you put the work in, you're exhausted at the end of it, but that's what you need to do, you know. And that's what Will expects. If you turn up and try and half-ass, you can forget it. You're just going to be in for a world of pain. Simple as that. But like I said, with what I said about sharpening up your tools, the only way that you sharpen up is by going against the sharpest. And that training match was a good eye-opener for me, a good experience. I got to, you know, be in the ring with someone that I greatly admire, someone with a hell of a lot of experience in wrestling. And just, you know, being in there, listening to what he's saying and what he's doing. Even the tag match we had 2 weeks ago at Revenge, even watching him enter, I got little things from that. Just watching him enter, I just thought, superstar, the way that he carried himself. I learned, like I say, he hadn't even lay a glove on anyone. All he'd done is walked out to the ring, and I'd learned something from him. That, you know, that's the level that Will's at. And that's what I'm hoping to get to.
Okay, Niall, do you remember? Sorry, Dave.
Yeah, I think you're about to say the same thing as me, Aaron. So carry on.
No, I don't think. No, do you remember after the first lockdown, the training session we had with Will, where he totally beasted us, and it was only 4 of us there?
I do, yeah. So I remember that one. Yes.
It was like literally hanging. Every time I got out the ring after getting in there, it was like I turned around and Will was like, right, back in again. And I'm like, oh my days. I mean, I've never sweated so much as that day ever. And also, you talk about Will's training session. I've got to give dues to Nathan here, because I took one of Nathan's training sessions a couple of weeks ago, and I learned something new called Sally.
Oh yeah, I know,
Just
yeah.
Sally, yeah.
That
Horrible.
it was horrible. And do you know what made it worse? When Mr. Richards stood behind me as I'm down in a squat, and he put his arms on my shoulders and pushed me down further. And I'm like, I'm gonna burst in a second. So
They
yeah.
want to squat properly. You talk about training, obviously, right now, and obviously like the intensity of it and stuff like that. Obviously, we're talking about training, and obviously Will Starr, the head trainer, and obviously what he does. What I want you to tell everyone now, and what I want to know about is the Will incident.
The Will incident?
Yeah.
I don't know this one.
Go on, remind me.
I don't think I know it. I've just been told to ask you about the Will incident. You should remember the incident.
Oh, where you just completely just blow me up to the point where I just had to roll out the ring and lie on the floor. I'm guessing. That wasn't that long ago. That was I think about a month or two ago. And like I say, the intensity of the warm-ups, and then we ran drills. I could give you every excuse in the world, but I'm not going to. It was simple that he blew me up. Simple as that. And I had to accept it. I had no choice. And that was actually before we had that training match. So, that was another factor going into that match. The fact that I actually had to stop a drill for the point that we're doing a sleep and leap, 5 each. And I couldn't complete it. My legs just would not work. And
that is a naughty one, though, isn't it? Like getting up, to, you're like, jelly legged and that. Like,
I think that's the first time I've ever had to concede in training, and it affected me a bit. In the fact, not that like I wasn't annoyed at Will or anything like that. I was annoyed at myself that I got blown up, and it was a bit of a wake up call for me, really, because I just thought, well, my cardio wasn't good enough. Simple as that. So the next day I was out pounding the streets, running, trying to tighten my diet up a bit more, whatever I could to come back next week and not be anywhere near as bad as that. I'd never want that to happen again. But the potential is always there because, like I say, depending who's at that session, if you're good enough, then he's going to push you. And, I learned from that as well. I just realised that, my cardio wasn't good enough. Will was still there. Everyone else was still hanging in. I'd say it. Morris was still there. That's a machine that I know with Morris. He was hanging in there, no problem. And, it was just a reminder to me that you ain't quite there yet. Keep going, keep pushing, keep training hard.
Very good. Nathan, are we near the end now?
How long have we got left, Dave?
gotta be. I've got work tomorrow. Come on.
Yeah, I think it's already been asked, but I'm just going to ask it again. If it's already been asked, obviously, just tell me we've already asked it. Coventry Pro Wrestling asked earlier, there was a notorious training match. No,
yeah, we've done that, mate.
Yeah, we've done that.
We've done that.
Okay. Okay, no worries.
I mean,
so obviously, I heard it was really tense. Obviously, it's 10 to 15 minutes. Where during the training match, obviously, Will was just stretching the hell out of you. Is that correct?
Somewhat. I think he could have stretched me more if he wanted to. But yeah, like I said, Will is a very technical wrestler. That's what his strength is. So he's going to use that on me. And like I say, I've got no qualms with that at all. That's what I was expecting. Like I say, the reason it was tense is because I wanted to prove to Will that I'd improved and that I was capable of being in a 15-minute match with him. Mm-hmm. There's no disrespect or anything like that. I've got nothing but respect and love for Will as my trainer and as a person. He's fantastic. Mm-hmm. But it's just that competitive edge. And that Will's got it. I've watched yourself in training matches with Will, and he gets hot if you don't think you're doing things the right way. He'll tell you, no problem. And it's just that simple as that. No,
I mean, again, like you say, if Will gets a chance to if Will gets the chance to stretch someone out, he will. He likes to get his hands on people in training to obviously test them. And like I say, in that training match, it was like a proper intense, man's match, back and forth, him stretching you, pushing you to your limits, making you step up your game, he does that to people in training. We've seen him do it with a lot of the guys, Morris, me, it's one of those things where if he believes in you, the more he believes in you, the more he's going to push you and test you. And like you say, getting in the ring with him is scary. But when he gets in there and training with you, you don't know what you're going to get from him. And like you said, him stretching you out during the 15 minutes match, bending you in positions that you don't know what you're doing, because like you say, it's his speciality, and he'll tie you up and you're stood there or laying there like, I don't know what to do. Someone help me, please. I completely understand where you're coming from. And like I say, it was 50 intense minutes where you'd already done like an hour and a half of training, and so pushing you to your limits.
I think like you said there, it was a little test. Obviously, like you say, the boss man is always watching, so I've no doubt, he was very interested to see how that was going to go and how I was going to stand up to that. So I think it was a little test from Will, but also obviously from the boss man, just to see where I am and what level,
Yeah. I believe that is it, guys. I think we are coming to the end now. There's no more questions, are there, Aaron?
Well, no, but I do want to ask one thing of Niall. While you're here, Niall, obviously, as we're in these times of lockdown, we're not seeing our loved ones. Basically, the world's not how it used to be at the moment. A lot of the Galaxy fans obviously are missing the wrestling. Jim said it tonight. Emma Shaw said it tonight. Can Niall please just give them that? Give them something to grasp onto to help them fight through this Boris shit lockdown and this dirty virus that the Chinese have sent on us.
Yeah, I mean, I tried to say something to the Roman cam at the Xmas Bash, but I didn't realise that they didn't pick up sound. Otherwise, I'd come over to the commentary booth and said it. But basically, we are in hard times. I'm always honest, as I can be. We're in hard times. Like I say, we can't see our loved ones. You can't go to wrestling. You can't go to the cinema. You can't do anything. Anything of fun, Boris won't allow it. Simple as that. You just got to go to work or be at home. Simple. But nearly every week, CPW is putting out content for you, whether it be something like this, whether it be a show, whether it be a taping. CPW will always have you back. That's why you're part of the Galaxy. That's why we love you. And one day, hopefully soon, we will be back together. Around June, July, August time, we were lucky enough to be able to have fans at our events, and it was fun. It wasn't the same, but it was much better than nothing. And eventually, if we listen to what Boris is saying, and I know it's hard to do that because he's proven himself a liar, but, he's hoping around Easter, May time that things might start opening up again. We might, a lot of people will be vaccinated by then and things might be going back to normal. So, we're halfway through January. Hopefully, end of February, March, we'll have a clearer picture. Maybe, who am I to say? It might be before that. All I know is from CPW, Mr. Richards, and everyone involved in CPW, the moment we get the okay to get fans back, you will be back. And we can't wait to get you back. We've missed you so much. You miss us. You miss not being able to do things. So do we. It's great that we get to wrestle on shows for you and you get to watch. But obviously, it's not the same as having that live crowd there and feeding off it. There is definitely a difference. I can feel you through the socials, but you just can't beat that feeling of a crowd. And like I say, I'll get back to that spot with Mr. Richards. and Will Starr, where the crowd was electric before they even touched. They're the moments that we as wrestlers miss the most. But like I say, there's no other choice. We will beat this virus. Life will go on.
Mm-hmm.
We will get through this together. We will stick together. We will continue providing content for you while we're in this lockdown or whatever it is. And the moment, literally, like Nathan said, if we could do a show every day, then the boss man would. So the moment, literally the day that we get the okay to get crowds back, I have no doubt there'll be a show on that weekend for you. So just hold in there. If you ever need to talk to anyone, you know, the wrestlers, anyone in CPW Galaxy, then please feel free to message any of us, whoever you feel comfortable to, because we're all in it together. Us wrestlers have our own mental struggles, you know, it's not great. Outside of wrestling, it's a shit time. You know, people losing their jobs, people are losing their loved ones, people were worried about money. So we feel it. So we know that you're feeling it. So, like I say, if you need to message someone, then message away, because we're all in this together. And one day we will be back together. And us, especially me and everyone involved in CPW, cannot wait to welcome you back.
Well,
Beautiful
amen
words.
again, my friend.
Beautiful words, and yeah, you're fucking right, mate. Definitely.
That's left me emotional.
Don't think we can say any better than Niall speaking on behalf of everyone there from the heart to the Galaxy themselves. And like you said, we might be in a lockdown, we might be in a bad situation, but like you said, we'll keep on giving them the content, you know, that they deserve. We'll keep entertaining them as much as we can, week in, week out, because that's what's important. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Talking Madness, the second show of 2021. And we need to say a big thank you to our mystery guest, who was the natural Niall Fairchild. Niall.
Yes, Niall, mate. Well, cheers, mate.
Niall, thank you so much for joining us tonight. I know it's been a long evening for you. You're probably up early in the morning with the kids, so unlucky. Not joking. But no, thank you for joining us. It was a great surprise. It's been amazing to have you on tonight. You know, I hope you've enjoyed yourself.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I just want to say, closing notes from me. Absolute pleasure to be on here. I really appreciate you. I know obviously I was a mystery guest, but it was planned by the boss man. So yeah, thank you very much for the opportunity to come on. And I think obviously people know what Niall Fairchild's about through wrestling, but hopefully they get to see me more as a person tonight, which I don't think they have up till now. So I'd say it's been great. Thank you.
No, it's been a pleasure. And like you say, you've been shooting left, right, and centre. You've been showing your passion tonight, you know. And obviously 2021 sounds like you're going to try and make it the year of the natural Niall Fairchild. So, no, thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for everyone who's joined us tonight. Have a good rest of the evening. Stay safe. Remember, CPW are always here for our fans. We have been your hosts, Nathan Lewis, Lee Simmons, Dale Richardson, and Aaron. And our guest tonight has been the natural Niall Fairchild. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Talking Madness. Thank you and good night.
Thank you.